live. Yeah, we're live. Yeah, we're live. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Yes, hello, and welcome into the YouTube side of it as well. Welcome in, folks. Hope you're all doing well. Today, we got two events today before we get started. Today, we got the three-point contest. The three-point contest, I did, nope, wrong button. As we have explained earlier in the stream, the Just Chat stream, we have kind of broke this thing down. But let's talk about the three-point leaders who are going to be in the three-point contest. We got the top 8 here today. We got Tyler Gaines out of New Orleans. We got Rayan Antaya from Charlotte. Zane Cruz as Chicago Blues. Carl Joseph, who will also be, now he looks like he's also been kind of regressing a little bit. Carl Joseph, who's 34, he will be in this. Keith Stevens from Dallas Knights, Cam Morant from the Houston Cosmos, Ricardo Bozzanoni from San Diego, who is the number 2 and the number 1 Paulon Strong, who is 26 years old. And the All-Stars, here are the All-Stars as well, so we can get into for this one. Joey Boss, Paulon Strong. We got Keith Stevens, who's also going to be in the, I think he's going to be, yeah, he's in the, man, he's going to be in both events. Carlo and Def Jorel out of San Francisco. We got Tyler Gaines. We got Aaron Ford, Jesse Gibson. Aaron Ford is who is in the San Diego Turf, and Lewis Hart from San Diego. But shocker enough, Ricardo Bozzanoni is not in the All-Stars, which is kind of crazy. It's kind of a crazy storyline. Jesse Gibson to the Dallas Knights, Jason Lee in the Portland Roses. We got San Antonio Sheriffs, Ben Conley, and Carl Joseph for the LA Stars. In the East, we got Bradley Burgess for New York Empire, Corey Wilcox in the Milwaukee Spartans, Francisco Ramirez. We got John Kai Jordan and Jeff Burgess, who Jordan is in Cleveland, and Jeff Burgess is in the Charlotte Stingers. MS1 is in the bench tonight for Atlanta. Zane Cruz, who's also going to be in the three-point competition, is going to be on the bench. Russell Weber from Milwaukee. Caleb White is in Atlanta. And I was dumbfounded when I just found this out this morning before I left to get my paperwork done today. Carlos Shanahan, Sindor Drago, and Corey Wright, all in my... What? I'm sorry, what? What? That is the most hilarious way to put Miami over. Just put in 3 guys on your bench and say, you know what, we might as well put our Miami top. What? I'm sorry, what? But today, we're going to get started in a little bit. But yes, thank you guys for coming in. For those who don't know, on the YouTube side, my name is Parker, the Sports Commentator, your happy Vocaloid PNGTuber, who's also upcoming VTuber coming down the road. Who's also into a variety of content like sports commentating, Umasume content commentating, plays Fortnite in his free time live on stream, plays Fall Guys, plays Dead by Daylight, here on Twitch, all more on Twitch, and so much more. So I hope you guys get to see this content here on the YouTube side. You get to see a little bit of a preview of the sports commentating content. Thank you guys for coming in and supporting me along the way. Thank you guys. And let's get started on today's games. Let's get started. We first do. Yes, it's all CPU. Yes. This is, yep, it's all good. Defensive strength, good. All-star, yeah, pros on all CPU. Let's begin with the three-point contest, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to it. It is going to be a spectate. Hello everyone and welcome to the All-Star Weekend 3-point contest live in Chicago, Illinois. About, crazy enough, 30 minutes to an hour away from my area. And we're here in the sports studio. But we're going to get started. Entire games will get first. So here we go. Already getting a couple in there and made 1-3 extra on the second round of balls. Ooh, okay. Looking really, really good. Going for threes. All right. Ooh, nice shot. Going for, 13 points. Woo, okay. 17, 21. Excuse me? I am sorry, excuse me. 27 points. Already in the first round. Oh my, what a start.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And here we go, Tanya will get started. Why is this zooming? Yeah, it's like, is that really fast? Jesus. I'm surprised it's going that fast, but here we go. And Tanya needs to get some points in the board. Missing some points. Good shot. Ooh, almost got that one. 10, 11, 13. Good shot. 21. So 27, 21 for Antania. Did really good in the last set of them, which is pretty better than typical. But next up, Cruz is up next.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And here we go. Cruz is up first. And get his first set in. All right, miss only some. Good shot on the threes. Miss some shots. Ooh, everyone's missing the blue one, which is kind of interesting. Good shot, 11. Oh, nice shot. 17 points. 21, 23, 25, 27. And they surpass, ladies and gentlemen. Zane Cruz surpasses Gaines' 27. So Cruz is taking the lead. Joseph is up next.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
21 to beat, ladies and gentlemen. 21 to beat. 6 points, already looking good. Oh boy, what a start. 11, just need 10 points. Oh, nice start. 16, 18, 20, 23, just surpassed it. And now, oh, he just surpassed it. Oh, tied up. 31, 33. Oh my gosh, 37. Ladies and gentlemen, he just smashed it. And Tanya is eliminated from competition. Joseph did not just overpass Antania, ladies and gentlemen. He just smashed it. So now Steven needs to gets 27. That's all he needs. Good shot. Already a good start. 5 points. Good shots. 9 points. Missed the blue one. Good shot so far. 13, 15. Only needs 12. 10 points and they win. He gets it. 19, 21, 23. Oh, almost 27 to beat, but he's eliminated. So Gaines survives another round, survives another person. So Stevens and Tanya are eliminated. Only missed 1 3-point shot. They could have been a tie too. They could have been very interesting. But here we go. 27 to beat for Morant up next. Good shot. 4 points. So 23 points you need to make. All right. Looking good. 9. All right. Ooh, missed the blue one. Ooh, nice shot. That's good. 12 points. Ooh, again, if that would have happened, man, that would help him a lot. 21 just needs 6 to win. 1, 2. Yep, ladies and gentlemen, he smashed it, beat Gaines, and Gaines is eliminated from competition. Only the final 3 will be in the round 1 leaderboard. Up next is San Diego Stars Buzzoni. We're underway. Need to beat 29. Already not in a great start. Missing shots. Missing some shots here. Yeah, he is not looking hot right now. Going for 3. There you go. But I don't think he's going to win this unless he can get... Nope, he will not. He'll probably be out. He gets 13 points. 20, 23. Yeah, he's off by 5 points to tie it up. Wow. So he's out, and now Polon Strunk is up next. Carlos is already in the person to beat. So Polon Strunk needs 29 to win. That's all he needs to do. 3, 4, those 6 points off in a great start. Polon Strunk. 9, 10, okay. He needs 17. Oh, what a great start. Now he can actually try to smash it. 10, wow, 8 more points to win. 5, 6. Ladies and gentlemen, he surpassed that. Wow. Excuse me? Polon Strong. 40 points. Overcome Joseph and Cruz. Is eliminated in the first round. Wow, he just, ladies and gentlemen, Polon Strong just smashed it, ladies and gentlemen. They just smashed it. So round number 2, Morant up first. Here we go, final 3. Good 3 points so far. Now let's see if he can win. Morant. Missed 1-3 so far, 11 points. Great 3 on that one. Ooh, okay. 18 points. Another blue one he made. That's wild. That's crazy. Missed another one. 30 seconds. Another one. 29 points. That's all you need to do. Is the highest score is your winner. Joseph needs to surpass 29 points. That's all he needs to do. Man, this is going to get interesting. Joseph has been phenomenal. Here we go. Missed one of them. All right, 4 points. 5, 6, 7. Oh, nope. That's 8. Oh, missed the blue one. 10, 12. Okay. Joseph, let's see if he can actually get the final points here. Looking good. I mean, he's trying to hang on, but he needs 14 to win. 17, 19. But that is not enough. Joseph is eliminated, and now it comes down to Polon Strong to represent LA. Or will Morant win this one, or will Polon Strong? And here we go. Already good. Oh, Polon Strong's been missing some shots. Already not in a great start. 5, 6, 7. Okay, 9. Ooh, he's missing some blue ones. He needs 20 to win or tie up. Missed some more shots. There you go. That's some momentum. 18, 19, 20. Ooh, okay. 2. Oh, he missed it. And ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Sham Morant from Houston, wins it. Wow, I am stunned. Polon Strong missed the final shot at 3, and Sham Morant wins the 3-point contest. Wow. I mean, off by 1 point. That was close, ladies and gentlemen. That was very, very close. That was I mean, that is awesome. I mean, that was an awesome game. I mean, that was something spectacular, today's game. That was fun. Now, let's get into ladies and gentlemen, the next one. We got another game, ladies and gentlemen. And that is the All-Star game. Hope you guys are ready for this one. This is the fun one. We got the preview, and here are your main 5 individuals. East and West. There you go. And again, these are all your main 10 players. I'm also going to save this sandwich so that after stream I'll probably after my grocery shopping today. After my grocery shopping today, I'm going to go ahead and get some but yeah, that's how I feel about it. So, but anyway, let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get started. So, they did not face each other, by the way. We're going to change some of the outfits today. We're going to change all the outfits to road outfits today because they're going to be all red and all blue. So we might as well go ahead and do that. Ooh, you can even edit the host of that? That's interesting. That's cool. I didn't know you can edit the host as well. That's pretty cool. I like that. That's pretty cool. I like that. Anyway, we're live in Chicago, Illinois, ladies and gentlemen. Let's begin. It's a 20-minute game. And we do, I think it's all fouls, everything else. So let's get right to it. Let's do this. All right. I do want to make sure. Welcome into Chicago, Illinois. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. We are live and well today. The All-Star game is here. And we're underway here today. We are live here today. We are underway. All right, a good spot. Going for 3. What a start for the 3-point range. What a start to today's game. What a start. I do want to go ahead and crank this up real quick. Going for a layup, a nice layup there. So Jesse Gibson will get the ball as well. Ramirez looking, dunking for Ramirez. All right, and start and a great start for the red team. For the East, Francisco Ramirez. Going for screen, pass. Still in ball. Pass. Looking, almost another steal again. Looking, trying to get something. 12 seconds in the play clock. Trying to dribble. Can't find Stalker or anybody. Looking for somebody. 6, 5. They're trying to find somebody. Long, strong, deep ball. Oh, yes, onions. Oh my goodness, what a shot. Wow, Palom Strong from the 3-point competition who was runner-up. Said, hey, you know what? I may be runner-up, but at least I'm showing my talent. Layup and miss, and Def Dorel will get a rebound. Dorel, looking for somebody. Going for screen. That is going to be number 30. Looking. Oh, Jorel with the dunk. What a dunk that is. I mean, he just cooked some hot dogs, didn't he? Going for a lob pass. Bertrand blocked it. Low, Carlo. He's going to get the ball. Passing it. Gibson. Trying to get in. Oh, what a dunk again. That's Gibson this time. Number 52. That is Jesse Gibson again. His 2 for 2 today. What a great start for West. 3 minutes of play. Going for 3. Oh, no, it's going to be a deep 2. Already in a good start. And by the way, it's 5 minutes and 4 quarters. So they get all the chances they get. Fast. Look. And it's an out of bounds. And it's last touched by the East. Wow. So pass it back to Boss. Going for a screen again. Didn't work. Did not successful. Looking for strong again. Pass to the Boss. Trying to find something opening. Jeff Durant with the hook shot. Missed it. MS1 with the rebound. 2:30 to play. Pass it to Bertrand. Looking for somebody. White with the hook shot. Missed that one as well. Jeff Jornell, 9-7 time ball game. All ready to start off with. Strong for the three. Oh, another one again. What a three that was. I mean, Strong is on fire right now. And definitely looking forward to when they do the playoffs. Looking forward to that one in a couple of weeks. We do got some playoffs live in a couple of weeks. Going for three. Missing that one and low with the rebound. 12-7 with the last 2 minutes of the first quarter. Stevens for the three. Oh, onions again. This time it's Stevens. Yes, one of the competitors. It is the same Keith Stevens who competed in the, I think he was in the 3-point contest. Cruz blocked it into, wow. What a block that was. Oh my, what a block. Cruz. That's what we call going for two. Missed that one, but what a block that was. It just went from the moon and back. That's crazy. Conley. Oh, what a block. Cruz wide open. Going for a lob and got it. Wow, Zane Cruz, he had a rough game. I mean, rough first quarter, and he got his first 2 points. Wow, I'm sorry. That's insane to me. Conley. Going for some. Why do you not go for two? Why are you not going for two? There you go. That works. Just trying to find somebody to say, get off me. Conley's like, get off me, give me the two. Ben Conley, 2 points, 1 rebound. Looking great. Jordan, looking. Jordan trying to get the two. Hook shot it. Got it. 17-11, timeout. And they're going to get all the players except for Steven off the bench. And here comes the West and East teams of all backups for the end of the first. Ford is going to have the ball now. Going for a screen. Nice screen. Oh, nice shot. Oh, yes. Stevens got it. Gabe Stevens. Woo, that was a beautiful two-pointer on that one. I'll just bounce off that one. What a dunk with Jordan on that one. Didn't even have the chance to let that one sink in for me in my mind. But Jacal Jordan, he's definitely been a guy to keep an eye on. 28 seconds. Ford. Oh, he's trying to block him. Hey, Stevens. 3. Missed it. Conley. Oh, what a dunk that was. Taking the lead 21-13. Already an 8-point lead, and they are putting on a show today in this first quarter. Ben Conley. Drago passes to Bertrand. Fast shot. Nope, he missed that one and blocked. Ford. Great pass to Gaines. Stevens. Missed the shot. Jordan. Oh, he's going to yeet it. Almost had it on the full court shot on that one. And that's the end of the first quarter, 21-13. Wow, that would have, and I swear, if they made it, I would have lost my marbles today. That would be like, okay, that's the highlight of the All-Star game today. So 4:57, ladies and gentlemen. 4:57. Ford for the D2. Oh, he almost had it. Oh, it just dribbled out of that rim. Going for 3. Misses shot. Lead passes to Ford. With 4:38 to play, here we go. Screen time. Ford trying to spin move it. Nice lob for Ford, making a 10-point lead. 4:30 to play here for the first half. Incredible performance for the West. They have been dominant all around. Jordan looking. Jordan passing it. Cruz for the 3. Nice 3 on that one. 7-point game. That is something they have been looking for on him all game today. Now, Boss, Ford, Doral, White, Ramirez, Drago, and I forgot Core, I think, are all out of the bench. 4:10 to play in the second quarter. Stevens going for 3. Oh, yes, Stevens. Man, he has been amazing today. He has been doing great in this first half. 2 for 3, 8 points, 66.7% on the shot. Going for 2 off the rim. Almost had it, but it just bounced out. 3:50 to play in the second quarter. On for screen. Ford with a back step. Off the rim. Jarrell would rebound it. And oh, baby, what a dunk for Jarrell with the rebound. Second chance point. That was awesome. And now that's what we call second chance points to a T. 4 points, 2 for 3 today. Going for a layup. Nice job for Ramirez, making it a 10-point affair today. Let's see if the East turns this thing around and makes some momentum. Going for 3. Oh, never mind. What a 3 for Stevenson. No, not on my watch. What a 3 that was. Woo! That is a 13-point lead. 11 points, 3 for 4 today. He is on fire today. Jordan looking, hook shot it, got it. That's an 11-point game. That's Ja'Kai Jordan, 3 for 4, 6 points, and a rebound. Pass it down to Jorel. Look it. Ooh, nice defense, and Jordan gets a rebound. That was a nice defense. Gotta give him some credit on that one. Jordan looking for somebody. Ramirez going for 2, trying to find something. Try to nice push it. Nice 2. Make it a 9-point game now. And here we go. Boss will have the ball here. Let's see if he can get something. Okay, pass to Lee. And nice dunk for Lee. Making an 11-point game again. Absolutely phenomenal game so far today. That's Jason Lee, 2 points, 1 rebound, 1 block, 1 field goal made. And Ramirez will have the ball. Going for a layup, got it, and 33-24, 9-point game with almost 2 minutes to play here, ladies and gentlemen. Get down, Lee, looking. Lee, Stevens for the 3. Missed it. Temple, MS1 with his first rebound, I assume, in this first game. I think so. I'll have to look back into it after this first half. MS1. Going for, got it. I thought he was going to miss that one, but he got it. 7-point game. 1:50 to play here in the All-Star game of the first half. Jorel passing it. Stevens for the 3. Got it. Again, back to a 10-point game. West has been dominant all first half. I mean, looking great. Everyone's all into the bench. All your main 5 now are in the last 2 minutes. So 1:40 to play. 36-26 on the West, and now here comes the East. Going for a screen. Weber going for a shot. Great shot on that one. 8-point game affair now. 1:25 to go. 1:20 to go. Boss going for 3. Miss it. Oh, wait. Whoa, what a dunk for Lee with the putback on the dunk. I was like a little bit like, oh my, what a dunk that was. I thought he was going to miss that one, but he did. He did. He's like, oh, you got one? I got you too. Standing, looking. Hook shot it. Got it. Back to an 8-point game, but man, what a dunk for Lee. I thought he was going to miss that, but man, never mind. Bots for a 2. Missed it. And out of bounds, and the West have turned it over. 50 seconds to play, and the East can actually minimize the damage and actually can try to get some momentum. Right. Oh, man, wide open. Dude was wide open. Why you did not call it? Going for a hook shot. Great shot. 6-point game. 40 seconds. Let's see if the East can make this an even close game as it is for the second half. Lee. Going for it. Blocked it. Missed it. 30 seconds. Right. What a spin move for Wright so far. Looking great. 24 seconds. Going for it. Got it. 4-point game and almost in the half. And man, what a collapse the West is going in. There's a lot of momentum now in the East now. There's a lot of momentum going in their favor. Nope, never mind. What a layup for that one for Carl Joseph. Now that's what we call pure pro instinct there. 6 seconds. Shanahan missed it. 2 seconds. They can go deep. Nope, they're just going to waste the clock. Still a 6-point game. The Western Conference kind of stalled the momentum, but still looking really good in today's game. Looking really good. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The halftime show, and we're not even beginning yet. So far, I will say that 3-pointers wise, I will see why Eastern Conference are trying to pull a comeback out of their butts. I mean, Steals, turnovers have been their favor. I mean, they're looking like a promising team. Meanwhile, the Western Conference has been dominant in this first 10 minutes in this first half. 12 rebounds, 3 offensive rebounds. I mean, 0 for the East. They have been trying to get something into the points, but 11 assists, 3 blocks, and only 1 turnover, which that was really going to be costly for them. But now we got a 6-point game, and you can also thank the fact the 6-point lead for the second chance points. I think without them, we would have been a tie ball game from the start. So definitely would have been a very different momentum swing. But the points in the paint has also been the reason why the Eastern Conference is actually looking really good. But like I said, time possession has been a difference maker. Time of lead has been a difference maker. The largest lead has been a difference maker. But the largest run so far for the Eastern Conference is looking great. I mean, 7-6. I mean, that should tell you a lot. Bench points as well has been a very different story as well. 26 for Western, 19 for East. But that doesn't mean that the points in the paint do not mean anything because, like I said, they have been really focused on trying to get those twos in. So let's see. But so far, I will say Ramirez has been an awesome performance. 11 points, 5 for 5. I mean, looking phenomenal for the points. And he made a 3-pointer for today's game today. We'll see how everyone else does in the East so far. But, bench-wise, Jordan looking great. I mean, this is going to be great. And Wright, 2 for 2 for 4 points. And even Cruz made a few points. He even made a 3-pointer earlier. I mean, definitely it's going to be looking really good and promising to see how that second half goes. In the Western Conference, Davis has been on fire. He's like, hey, you put me on that bench. Hey, hold my beer. I got this. And Steven is like 5 for 8, 4 for 6, and even. I mean, for 5:35 to play, man, he has been on fire as a lay. He has been really proving a lot of the doubters wrong that he can't do it. And Lowe has not been productive at all. Even Boss has been struggling. He had 6 assists, but the problem was, Jor-El has been doing great on the defensive side. 2 blocks, 1 assist, 3 rebounds, and an offensive rebound. Lawrence Strong's been doing good too. 2 for 2 for 3-pointers and 2 for 2 for field goals. I mean, not as productive, but definitely putting the points on the board. So definitely been, but Stevens definitely should be player of the game if they do win today. He has been phenomenal today. So let's see how the second half begins here today, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. The West will have the ball here in the second half. But let's get started. Gibson. And one, Gibson will have the points. What a start for today's game. I mean, what a start in the second half, too. That is wild to me. And makes an and one, now a 9-point game. That is costly on its own, and now they have to make the East. Now they're making force the East do threes, I guarantee you. Burtress. Going for 3. Missed the shot. Jor-El with the rebound. Boss, wide open. Wide open for 2. Now it's an 11-point game, and now East is collapsed their momentum hard. Pump fakes, nice shot with the pump fake. Going for 2 and misses it, and Palon Strong with his first rebound in the game today. So here we go. Palon Strong trying to get stumped in. Uh-oh, almost lost the ball on that. Palon Strong trying to get something. Going for a screen. Palon Strong trying to pull up for Gibson. He's been their hero today. Passing for Boss. First shot 3. Oh, yes! Man, the West has been dominating already in the first 2 minutes. Oh, my goodness, what a game so far. What a shot. White. 3:50 to play in the third quarter. Going for a hook shot. Got it. 48-36. Back to a 12-point game we go. Here we go. Welcome back from the ads. Going pass for Boss. Oh, nice wide open for Boss. 7 points, 3 for 5, 1 for 2, and 7 assists today. He's been really on a really good job. He's doing a phenomenal job today. And just doing phenomenal at just handling the ball. So here we go. Jorel gonna have the ball now. Looking. Passing for three for Polon. Off the rebound. Nice rebound for number 22. No, that's number 12. I think I know who that is. MS1. Looking. Missed it low with the rebound. 14-point game, and here we go. Can the blue team and can the West win this game? I mean, they got 2 quarters. Boss for the 3. Oh, baby, Boss again. What? I'm sorry, excuse me? Are you kidding? Wow. I mean, he had a slump in that first half. He was not been productive. He said, oh, you really want to say anything, Parker? Hold my beer, I got you. And he is showing his work. Burgess with the dunk. Now it's a 17-point, actually it's a 15-point game, I think. So here we go. Man, Randy Burgess, 2 for 3. Gaines for 2. Missed it. Drago with the rebound. Here comes the East. East is trying to make themselves have a comeback. Shanahan. Try number 20, trying to get some points. Weber for the 3. Strong with the rebound. Gaines. 153 in the third. Gaines trying to get something. Oh, trying to block. Weber with the rebound. Did a really good defense. That's how you do it. So here we go. Nice 2-pointer. And now it is 53-40. 13-point game. If they can have the momentum swing in their favor, if East can get some points and turn this thing around, that would be perfect. Oh, almost steal it. Nice shot for 20 feet. Man, they have tried to steal it, and he missed the opportunity. He broke his ankles. Jordan try and find something. Trying. 17 seconds on the shot clock. Passing it to Cruz. Jordan. Off the wall it did, and Strong with the rebound. Wow. Going for spin move. Uh-oh, and a steal for Bortres. Burstress. What a turnaround for the steal. Shanahan going for dunk. Back to a 13-point game. That is a great steal and a nice assist, in my opinion. It took him time to get into it, but he did great. Uh-oh, wide man open. Lee. Oh, what a dunk on, that is, I think that's lost. Let me look. It is Lee. No, it is Lee. Jason Lee with the rebound and the dunk. Burgess trying to push. Wow, he put Polon Strong hard. Now we're back to a 13-point game near the end of the third. Here we go. Here comes the West. Going for screen. Didn't work. Going for it. Oh, nice dunk for Polon Strong on that one. He did really good. I mean, that was boom shakalaka right there for you. 10 points, 2 for 3, 1 assist, 3 rebounds. Going for Zane Grush. He has the ball. Passing it, Jordan. Passing the Cruz. Missed the 2 on that one. So here we go. Polon Strong trying to get something. He's trying to get some paint. Missed the 2 on that one. He was trying to do a floater. I know what he was trying to do. He was trying to pull that LeBron James out of his hat. But he missed that one hardly. Going for a screen. Jordan. Nice dunk. 59 for 46. So now back to a 13-point game. And now we can see a comeback. Going for an half-court shot and missed that one as well. Now the 13-point game, and this does not mean that the game's over yet. We could see a turnaround for the East. Let's see if the East can pull up a comeback in 5 minutes. The last 5 minutes in this game, let's see if the East can win this one. East has the ball now. Trying to get some points on the board. Trying to get something to work. Shannon. Ramirez for the 3. Missed the shot, and Boz with the rebound. And here comes the West. Lee. Passing it to Strong. Man, he's fast. He is fast and wicked speed. Strong. Going for 2. Nice shot on that one. Now back to a 15-point game. So here we go. MS1 has the ball. White is looking for somebody. White is looking for somebody. Hook shot. Nice shot. 2 for 3. 1 rebound. 4 points. Not as been productive for the East side today. And that's been their biggest struggle. On strong. Going for 2. Missed the shot. And Ramirez with the rebound. Here comes the East. Will we see a comeback? Shannon, MS1. Missed the shot off the rim. He could have made that one if he would have been a little bit too less fast and not too risky. Lee. Looking. Passing it. Strong. For the 3. Yes, got it. Now it's back to a 17. I think it's a 16-point game. Wow, what a 3 that was. Now it's a 16-point game. West has been smashing to this opponent real bad. Back step shot. Missed that one. Lee, Jason Lee with the rebound. 3:25 to play. Going for screen. Going for screen. Nice dunk for Jason Lee. I mean, he has just been dominant today. I mean, I feel like the West has been just putting on a show against these guys. And they're making it an 18-point game. So East is calling a timeout. Oh, MS1 already. Wow. He's like, oh, you want to be... I'm going to be slick like a snake and go around you guys. I mean, that's insane that he did that the way he did. That's crazy. Odds for the 3. Missed that one. Jordan with the rebound. MS1. Let's see if they can do it. 2:50 to play. Jordan. Throws for the 3. Lee with the rebound. 2:40 to play. This is the last 2 minutes of the game, and then we get to the draft. Stevens for the 3. Oh, baby, 69-50. A 19 points affair. Man, what a 3 that was. Keith Stevens, 17 points, 5 for 7. 1.4. Wow. Cruz for the 3. Misses it. Tip ball. Pallon strong and passing the boss. Wow, what a fast passing affair there. Passing to Pallon strong. Oh, baby, what? Wow, that is insane. 22 point, I mean, that is insane. 4 for 5, 18 points. This for the 3. Misses it. Lee with the rebound. With the last 2 minutes, Pallon strong in dramatic fashion pulled off a 2. Oh, what a block. I mean, what a block. Whoever did that one, that was awesome. MS1. Bertrus. Ooh, almost blocked that one. Timeout, Western Conference. 20-point affair. Nope. There cannot be a comeback, in my opinion. There's no way you can after what Pallon Strong did. I mean, Pallon Strong did great. For the 3, misses that shot. Weber with the rebound. Weber's trying to get something. Bertrus for the 3, missed that one. Conley with the rebound. I think there's no comeback confirmed. Unless Conley and all of them pull off turnovers like no other. For the 3, missed that shot. Wow, that's heartbreaking. 1:05 to play. Cruz trying to find something, screening it. Going for 2. Great shot. It's 18 points, 58 seconds. If you want to make a stop, now it's time to do so. Going for screen. Trying to find something. Going for 2. Not even tempted to block. Missed a shot on his own. Wow, that was insane. Cruz. Find something. Bertrus. Nice dunk for White. Wow, that was a nice lob pass dunk. That was a beautiful one. It's 38 seconds. Caleb White with the dunk. 6 points, 3 for 4, 2 rebounds. Low with the 2. Got it. So back to an 18 points. I think that is it. That is over. And the West, ladies and gentlemen, are your All-Star champion, All-Star game winners of today. What a 3. Never mind. Drago with the downtown 3-pointer said, we're not done yet. It's not 0-0-0 yet. Ain't over yet. Boss. trying to get something. Lobbed it. Nice one with a layup. Back to a 17-point game. 13 seconds. Here we go. Going for a shot. That was a beautiful shot. I don't know why they have not called their last timeout. That's kind of crazy. 5 seconds. And nice block. And that is it. The Western Conference wins the All-Star game. And Palomstrong is your player of the game. 4 3-pointers, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, and 18 points. And they did it in just dominant fashion in all 4 quarters. I think they did a really good job handling themselves. I mean, originally it was a 4-point game, and then just completely I think the Eastern Conference team collapsed once they found out. I mean, I think the West has done a really good job boxing on. I think that's been the biggest problem for the Eastern Conference. So here comes the East. So the East, they have been doing phenomenal. They have MS1. He did all right. 5 assists, 1 rebound. You know, Bertrand 1 assist, 1 steal. Ramirez, 1 rebound, 1 block. White had a personal foul, which I think that beginning of the game really cost him the game. 1 assist, 3 rebounds. Bertrand, 1 for 4. That really hurted the game too. Bertrand has not been performing like he promised him to be. 1 assist, 2 blocks. Weber's doing all right. I think the best player for this team is Ramirez. He had 5 for 8, 1 for 3. Definitely been the showcase of today. Jordan did great. He did definitely been all right. He did like 7 rebounds, 1 assist. Definitely a guy who been the bench. Cruz did great. 1 rebound, 2 assists. I mean, 3 for 9, 1 for 3. I mean, this team was kind of struggling in the second half, and I think that's really what really hurted them. But I still think he did great nonetheless, just for all the stuff he ever did earlier. But we'll see. On the Western Conference, though, Palomstrong, the runner-up of the 3-point contest, absolutely smoke it today. I mean, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 7 for 10, 4 for 5. Definitely solidify himself as the player of the day for the All-Star games. But I still think Gibson did great. 3 for 3 and a free throw for the and 1, which was great. Stevens that also should be kind of the player of the game as well. Definitely been the MVP on the bench. I mean, definitely a guy, 6 for 10, 5 for 7. Now, he did not do any rebounds or anything, but definitely a guy who's more of your scoring type. Boz did the same. Boz has been phenomenal. 9 assists, 3 rebounds, 2 for 4. Better than 1 rebound. How in the absolute blue world did Palomstrong rebound and pass it to Boz and then pass it to Palomstrong and just did the stuff that Palomstrong did? That drive me insane. That was some 200 IQ. Let me pass it back and forth for you. That was some NFL style shooting, if you ask me. That was incredible. Now, Lowe was not productive, but he definitely was the rebound assist player of the main 5. Definitely been a guy, been really great. 3 blocks, 1 assist, 4 rebounds, and an offensive rebound. Def Jorel has been a guy who's been really helping this Western Conference get themselves where they need to be. Definitely been doing great. And even Conley did an offensive rebound. Even Lee, Jason Lee, man. This guy was the dark horse in this team, and he was at least putting some points to help the team out, and he was phenomenal. I think what really kind of made the dark horse too is because the turnovers he committed, and Conley got to commit a turnover. But I still think either way, it's been really helping this team become the very best ones they can be. So, all right, folks, that is it. I still think that was awesome. I still think that was fun. Let's go to the team stats and talk about this real quick before we go to the draft. Yeah, I think this game was over with the fouls. I still think the and 1 really costed the Eastern Conference what they did. But I also think the rebounds, I mean, everything else from now, yes, I will give the Eastern Conference some credit. The steals helped them a little bit, get some momentum. The turnovers have helped them. The no turnovers helped them get momentum as well. I think that's what one of the biggest downsides for the Western Conference was the turnovers. But however, I still think just the second chance points really costed the Eastern Conference their win. They just did not have any performance whatsoever. And just in general, I think, in my opinion, I think once we get the NBA basketball leagues players into the professional league, I am so looking forward to see what that does for these professionals. We'll see what that does, and we'll see what that means for these teams going forward. I still think it's so exciting to see what that means for the teams. 9 dunks, 25 bench points. I will also give Eastern Conference the credit. They put 44 points in the paint, and he got 4 points off those turnovers as well. Now, the time of possession, they hold on the ball very long, but I think that was one of the biggest downsides for a lot of teams when they have the possession, is that they aren't going to be too distracting. They don't know what they're doing, stuff like that. But I think everything else was all Western Conference fair from the start. So, all right, folks, that is it for the All-Star game. I'm going to go ahead and do. I am going to sim. Yep, there's the current day. We're going to sim the playoffs in the next Hoop Land stream, which will be next week. I'm probably going to do is make a Patreon video as well. I'll probably make a Patreon video as well to the sim as well. I'm probably instead doing that on the live stream. So I'll be right back. And I'll be right back, and I'll be back as fast as I can. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll be back in ads real quick. For YouTube, you'll be taking a 3-minute break. Enjoy it, and I'll be back soon. And then for you, Twitch, you'll be getting some ads, so hope you all see when you come back. All right, we're back. Welcome back from the ads. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hope you all had an awesome ad break. Let's go ahead and do, while we're live, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and get into the next one. I do need to do one more thing on the Twitch side, and we're going to get started. So, I think we need to go to Legend Bowl. There we go. And we'll be live in the Legend Bowl side, and we're good on the YouTube side, and we're going to go ahead and do. Let's go ahead and run. Oh, by the way, the Legend Bowl thing. So, the next Legend Bowl stream. The next Legend Bowl stream after this draft class will be on Monday or Tuesday, depending on the when I begin doing so. So, all right. There we go. There we go, folks. We need to go south. Yes. Welcome in, folks. Okay. Okay. South. Let's see. I think menu is like right. There we go. And then we're going to need to do crowd. I'm going to move this down a bit just to, well, so you guys get to hear me do my commentating. Put this down to 70. Chatter. We're going to put this down to 70. And then put crowd in 70 so you guys get to hear the game as well. Weather-wise, we're going to bump this up to 60, and we're good. All right. And then franchise, we're going to control the teams. Player rider wage, what does that do? Number of raises you can give players who ask to be traded during the player rush. So let's do 3. Well, legend stats and the friction month. Let's go ahead and turn off the preload leaders. That will help a lot. So, I do not want like all-time leaders in the history because that some of the numbers are very, very difficult. So, why? Oh, okay. Okay. Why? I do want to make sure. All right, that's fine. We can do the default ones. I don't mind. Because we're going to be doing this anyway. We're going to do this way. That's fine. We're going to do the defaults. Franchise, new. Coach, we're going to change. I'm going to pick the select team. Let's see. We're going to do the Tennessee Kings. That's how I feel about it. So, and we're going to change this. And we're going to change this to 2025. Actually, it's like 2026. Yeah, no, 2025. Sounds about right. Select. All right. And I'm going to keep everything else. And we're going to continue, and we're going to sim. All right, folks. And we're gonna sim all the scheduling. Actually, let's go to team schedule. And we're gonna sim all the way. Simulate the week. Yep, we're gonna sim all the way. So, okay, Starger wants to go to a championship team unless you pay him $3.10 million. Okay, I accept. I'm just gonna accept all the teams because that's how I feel about it. So we're gonna do that. Okay. Team. Actually. Skip right? Nope. And we're gonna sim to week 17 again. Go. And for those who do, like I said, I want to make this want to be interesting, so we're gonna simulate the season. Close. Man, Cleveland's having a rough time right now. Okay. Goodness gracious. There we go. All right. I think we're to the point where I'm just gonna do step all this. Reject all these. There we go. I'm going to do. I think there's a way I can change this, right? Go back. Save. We're going to save it. All right. Before we do anything, I'm going to do this real quick. I'm going to exit the game real quick. And we're going to do this real quick. So I'm going to go properties real quick. Open selector. We're going to do a laptop screen because, you know, because it just is doing this to me today. So there we go. Enjoy the OBS screen. Need to find my Steam page. There we go. All right, there we go, folks. Hope you're all doing well, by the way. Thank you all for coming into the stream today. I am going to go ahead and unplug my charger. There we go. Let me see how it's going right now. There we go. All right, now let's hope this thing works. Load. I think we got that one. Yep. Ivory Peterson. Got schedule. We need to go team. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and sim some weeks. Okay, I think we're almost done with the trades. All my players are moving around, which is crazy to me. There we go. There we go. Goodness gracious, so many player wires. That's wild to me. That's 5 weeks. All right, the season's over, and Coach Peterson, for the first year, will make it to the playoffs. So the Jacksonville Storm, they won their MVP. Randall Briofilta wins that one. Warwick Luna wins the Jacksonville Storm's Offensive Player of the Year. Chief Thames wins the Indianapolis Racers, wins their Defensive Player of the Year. Hey Godfrey, Washington Eagles. Hey Godfrey also wins the Rookie of the Year. Robbie Raucher from the New Orleans Crawfish, they win the Defensive Rookie of the Year. Ryan Gruff wins the Las Vegas Gunners. Marcel Runchman wins the Jacksonville Storm, and the eligible champions is on the lineup next. So, here are the playoffs. Now, here's the standings, by the way, for year number 1. For anyone who wants to take any notes or any history notes, here you go. The Kings. Yes, the Kings are third of the plane. So, but the Storm wins the AFC, aka the Eastern Conference, and they win the number 1 seed. I think they win via tie. But we'll see. We'll see. The Emeralds, they're looking great. They won their division. The Metros tie with the Eagles. The New York Metros win their federal title. Green Bay wins the Big Lakes title. Carolina wins the Sunshine title. Jacksonville wins the Plains title. The Baltimore wins the Industrial title. New England wins the Atlantic title. And Las Vegas wins their title as well. Kansas City went 5-11, which is kind of crazy to me. Now for the playoff picture, here we go. And already we're in a very interesting playoff picture already. The Kings take the last spot. The Rough Riders, the Houston Rough Riders, they have been moving on to the wild card race. And then you got the Storm. You got Jacksonville, Baltimore, New England, and Las Vegas. So Houston and Tennessee, they're moving on. Buffalo has been out looking in. Miami's out looking in as well. Cleveland almost went to the playoffs as well. Meanwhile, in the Western Conference, you got Green Bay, you got Carolina, you got New York and Seattle. Chicago and Washington. Chicago with the shocker, surpassing Minnesota, LA, and Arizona as they're looking into the playoffs, which is kind of astounding to me, as that's kind of been the shocker as of sorts right now, which is kind of crazy to me. Right now, a lot of players, they're going through, they're going to either go to the playoffs or they're not. New Orleans, I think they're starting to get healthy, but we'll see. Tennessee, I think, let me look at their infirmary report today. Tennessee. No infirmaries, which is kind of insane. But here we go. Let's get started. So let's start from the bottom. Actually, let's start with Tennessee and New England. Tennessee moves on to the divisional round, upsetting New England, Houston, and Las Vegas. Houston beats Las Vegas by a field goal. Chicago and New York Metros. Chicago beats New York. And Washington, Seattle, they have beaten them cleanly. And now in the divisional round we go. Tennessee and Jacksonville, Houston and Baltimore, Chicago and Green Bay. Wow, a rematch. And kind of the rivalry, a 100-year rivalry is here in Washington, Carolina, Tennessee and Jacksonville. Jacksonville barely scratches by against Tennessee. They did a really good game. I think that was pretty good. Houston and Baltimore. Houston beats Baltimore and moves on to the Eastern Championship. Is it Retro Bowl deja vu, I guess? I don't know. Chicago and Green Bay up next. And Green Bay surpasses Chicago. And then Carolina against Washington. And that is Carolina beats Washington and moves on to the Western Conference. Houston and Jacksonville up next. Jacksonville beats Houston 2017 as their dreams come passing by. And Green Bay and Carolina. And Green Bay beats Carolina by a game winner, and they're moving on to the championship, the Legend Bowl, the first ever Legend Bowl in late history. And the winner is the Storm. Wins their first ever championship, and Green Bay loses. Congratulations to the Jacksonville Storm as they dominate. Wins the 2026 season champions. And there are your roster, your winners. Congratulations. Looking great. I mean, they look great. So I do want to see who's ever here in chat, by the way. For those who came to the chat, thank you for coming in. I do want to look at the YouTube chat as well in a little bit as well. I definitely like to check everybody around today, so bear with me. Let's see here. Let me see my channel in the YouTube side. All right, there you go. For those on the YouTube side, thank you for coming in, by the way. I appreciate you guys coming in. It means a lot to me. Thank you guys for watching. And I'm sorry if the quality is absolute poo-poo today, so I'm sorry about that. Sorry if it's going poo-poo today, because it's absolutely bad. Anyway, we had Jacksonville beat Green Bay 13-6. But now, here we go. We start in the offseason. And now we start with the retirements. Zachary Neitlinger is out. He's retiring. Sylvester Tarpe from Houston. He's retiring after 16 years. And Wilkie Kilby out of Miami will be retiring. So those are the three players retiring. And now here we go. The draft will be underway here. Is there a way I can just sim it? Oh yeah, I can. CPU pick. Okay, cool. Nice. We're keeping our kicker. He's like 80. We're keeping our kicker. He's really good. Or should we keep Emmett, the tight end, because he would definitely be a big game changer. All right, here we go. T-Branch. Yep, there's a lot of players that'll be going and leaving for the free agency, and now progressions. Let me look at my team. I'm just curious. So, in 33, some regressions already. I do want to look at like all like the teams and the rosters because I like them this way. I like seeing that this way. So far, Skylar's looking good. He's like 88 in skill. Skylar's looking great. Running backs, everyone's downgraded. 84, how about Barnfield, Fallon, Priest, Woodford. Okay. Ooh, Kevin Lynn is actually going to be starting. Dantley Sanders, Buster Britt. They're going to look, I mean, that cornerback's group is going to look great. Perry Lanley, Steph Majors, and Bert Heath, who is... but we'll see. Let me see. How's everyone doing? Is there a way I can sort it? Yes, we can. There we go. Yeah, so, you know, we got some players, you know, Orlando Lead, he's looking great. I mean, do want to look at the QBs and see how everyone's doing. Randy, wow, Thom Brandy, he's looking great. I mean, for the Stars, I'm looking forward to see what that does for him. Jack Dakota is regressed a bit, but not too much out of his 37 years old. Chaz Lynn is going to be interesting. 30 years old. He's 38. He's going to be 91 in skill. I mean, you got a lot of players, man. I mean, even Scholar's looking like a progressive player too. How Cincinnati's QB is doing? Yeah, there's some players that look like they're gonna regress. Roberts is looking like a guy who's gonna probably in the next few years, if he does well, he can probably see him as a potential player soon who will be diamond in the rough. So definitely got to keep an eye on. So looking forward to that. Cincinnati's Kayshawn Springer, definitely a guy who not been losing progression, but definitely in his late 20s. Looking forward to see what that does for him. I mean, Warwick Luna, the championship QB already, he's definitely a guy who's been regressing a bit, which is not surprising for 35-year-olds. So I'm surprised that Delmar Casey for San Francisco has won last year in his contract. Looking forward to see what that does for him. But definitely I would retire after this season. So, but Jesus is not looking great. He's like 29. He's going to be down. Like, he's been regressing. I mean, definitely we'll see what that does. Arizona is one of those teams that if they can rebuild correctly, I mean, Perkins definitely looks like a guy who's definitely who could be in the next couple of years, probably their next big guy in running backs, but we'll see. Chester Winston Jr., Joey Miles, Ernie Mullins, Nancy DeShields. I think Abdul Rieger, the center, I swear if he can do well in the next couple of years as a backup, I would like to see what he does in a couple of years. So, and he's like 44. I'm surprised he got better. So we'll see. So let's see. Okay, with Laser, you got Ken and Stinger. I mean, these guys are looking like guys who I can see. I think the short safety position is going to be a struggle for them, but overall, I can see the cornerbacks being the helpful ones along the way for Arizona, but we'll see. Oh, cancel that. Let's go to the offseason. Let's go to the draft. Here we go. Like I said, if I don't see him, all right. Sponsored by Mount Donald's. Hey, the food I ate. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I do want to see. Is any of the players in here, I guess? I guess not. No, they're not in here. That's crazy. You would think it will pop up. Oh, well. Oh, well, it was going to happen from the start. Oh, well, maybe next year. Oh, well, maybe next year we can use that draft class. I'm so sorry, guys. That was going to happen. But at least we got to generate a draft class either way. So, oh, man, that's going to be rough. But here we go, guys. Are you ready? For the first pick in your first ever draft. In the first ever draft. And they're on the clock. In the first ever draft, the New York Empire select. The draft pick is in. They have drafted Steve Smith, left guard, first overall draft pick. For the second draft pick, the Dallas, the Dallas Sheriffs, I think, they pick the Dallas Sheriffs, fourth cornerback. For the third pick in this draft, the Cincinnati Salamanders select Jensen Powell, right defensive tackle, 85 overall, third overall draft pick. Also, right defensive tackle. For the fourth pick in the first round of the Tuneful Football League draft, the Atlanta be selected Jamarin Akuff, led defensive end, fourth overall draft pick. For the fifth draft pick, the Kansas City Coyotes select Stacy Kabala, wide receiver, fifth overall draft pick. For the sixth draft pick, the Philadelphia Liberty selects Hank Clouds, quarterback, sixth overall draft pick. That's actually their first ever QB draft pick too. So very interesting in the draft picks so far. So things are about to get very interesting as we go on. So very interesting so far. For the seventh pick, the Pittsburgh, I think it's Pittsburgh up next. Let me see here real quick. It is Pittsburgh. I do want to read it and make sure we see what we got in the bound ticker because I want to read it. Let me see what it says here on the seventh pick. Pittsburgh, they select the Pittsburgh Titans. Select Dallas Harvey, the center. 85 overall, 7th overall draft pick. For the 8th pick, Indianapolis Racers select Agnar Everett, forward safety, free safety, 8th overall draft pick. From South Atlanta, okay, let me see. Yeah, from Fort Wayne. Yep, from Monticon, what is it called? The next draft pick, Tampa Bay Corsairs up next. They have selected Ray Summerfield, cornerback, 84 overall. And then the number 10 overall draft pick, the New Orleans Crawfish. Yes, the New Orleans Crawfish select. They have selected Nina Battaglia, cornerback, 10th overall draft pick. And the 11th draft pick, the Seattle Kraken, they select the San Diego Kraken. They have selected Harrison Stilley, quarterback. That's a big one. I mean, another QB been picked. The number 12 pick, San Francisco, the Miners, they select Tyler Kajusti, quarterback, 12 overall draft pick. For the 13th draft pick, for this draft. This is a big one. This is the Panthers, I think. This is the Panthers. Next up is actually Denver. Then you got LA, which is kind of crazy to me. So, it's Detroit Panthers. Correct myself. Detroit Panthers. Detroit Cougars. They select Vince Liner, the 13th overall. For the 14th draft pick, in this draft pick, Denver selects the Denver Peaks, select Roderick Burnett, quarterback, 14th overall draft pick. Already an interesting fashion so far. Now we're in halfway in the first round. Interesting so far. LA, they select. The LA, where their team's called. The LA, that was their defense liner from Thunder Bay, by the way. And then Ronnie Burrow from Los Angeles. The Los Angeles Vultures subject, they select. Have selected Miguel Hill, the quarterback for the 15th overall draft pick out of North Carolina. The Cleveland Copperheads are up next. Their pick, they select Wendy Suda, a running back, 16th overall draft pick for theirs. Next up, the Arizona Scorpions are up next. Arizona, they select Garfield Bertel, the right tackle, focusing on our O-line, 83 overall. That's a pretty smart move. Next up, the Minnesota Walleye. They're up next for the 18th pick. Minnesota Walleye, they select Dwayne Mayers, left guard, for that one. For the 19th pick goes to Miami up next. They select Bernardo Parker, another quarterback. A lot of quarterbacks have been picked for this first round. A little bit more later or mid in this first round so far, which is kind of crazy. So, already things are about to get interesting. And already, here's the crazy part. Quarterbacks, look at this so far. We got Blaine Rue. We got, so far, we got Daniel Coombs. We got, Stajek Cameron out of California. Senor Caparoli, we got Garrett Beckley, we got Nicholas Snowden. A lot of these guys who, you would think like, okay, I can see why. So, yeah. And then you got like Jamie Long, you got a lot of these players who are going to be big deals later on. Fullbacks wise, you got Deontay Bradbury, you got Rico Flair, you got like Tommy Bowles. And actually, so far, the crazy part is not a lot of wide receivers are being picked in this first round, which is kind of surprising to me. And not even a lot of tight ends are getting picked. A lot of left guards, a lot of those 80 overall players are still on the table already in the late round pick. Let's see what this next draft is. The next draft pick, the Buffalo is up next. Buffalo still selects quarterback this time. Hydrak Parkinson. Cornerback, 83 overall. Wow, that's insane. Wow. Interesting. So next one is the New England Minutemen's up next, 21st pick overall. They're picking Chad Scram. Wow, 21st overall, 83 overall. Very smart pick in my opinion. Definitely they need to get really better at their defensive back at this point. We're going to see what that does for them in the first round because I think that was a pretty good one. So we'll see how that pretty much works. For the 22nd overall draft pick, Las Vegas is up next. Las Vegas, they picked Colonel Frampton, a wide receiver, for the 22nd overall draft pick. For the 23rd draft pick, and I think it's the New York Metros, one of those teams that have won their division, who kind of got upset by, I think it was against Tennessee, who got upset by Tennessee in the wild card round. So we'll see what that does for them. So let's see what they can do now. New York Metros select Gavin Moultrie, a left defensive tackle. They went full on defense, so things are going to get interesting as things go on. Another 83 overall player. Next up, it is the Seattle Emeralds are up next. Let's see what they pick here. Seattle Emeralds, they picked Shockley Kendrick, a cornerback, for the 24th overall draft pick in the draft. Now it is their draft pick, and we're going to go ahead and CPU it. The Tennessee Kings, they select for the 25th draft pick R.L. Tolliver, a left tackle, O-lineman, 83 overall draft pick. So interesting so far. So next up, the 26th draft pick. We're almost done in this first round. The Stars, Baltimore Stars. Your next draft pick selection. Their first one selects Evan Spangle, left defensive tackle for the 26th overall draft pick. Next up, Chicago is up next. Chicago Blues, they select Saran Anders, right tackle, 82 overall, and the 27th overall draft pick. At Washington Eagles, they select Garrison Dukas, the wide receiver, who's an 82. Here's the Houston Roughnecks. They select left tackle Steven Gardella for the 29th. And then for the final two draft picks for the first round, Carolina Cardinals, they select for the 30th Jacoby LaPlante, right defensive end, 83 overall for the 2026. And then for the runner-up, the Green Bay, and for Jacksonville up next. Green Bay Beavers select Alfonso Ezra, the right defensive tackle, which is a really good pick. And for the Champions, they select free safety Godfrey Fryer, which is kind of a shocker a little bit, but not surprised. They're picking really good players. Now for the second round we go, and I think so far for this first round, I gotta say, a lot of players have been picked so far. Let's look at the teams as of so far. I'm gonna just go break this thing down before we get to the next teams. Arizona picking Portell. I think replacing Evan is going to be a very big deal in this draft class. So we'll see what that does for Arizona. For Atlanta, they're definitely bringing in a guy that I think will definitely change a lot for this team. We'll see what that does. We'll see what that does for this team. And we're going to see what that means when it comes to offense and defense. We'll see. Hopefully that will help the defense a lot, especially for an 85 overall team. That's going to make a lot of people pay attention for Atlanta. So we'll see if that really plays a role. And then for let's go back a little bit. I think so far, Baltimore, making a defensive tackle backup looking great. Buffalo, having one of their new cornerbacks be the top stars in their cornerback was a great move. Carolina, they're making some new moves with the defensive end side. They got Anders for right tackle. They got Cincinnati. They're looking great. I think if they can make that defensive side look better, I think they could win a championship, in my opinion, if they can do that. Cleveland making the shocking move by going focus on the run instead of focusing on a new QB, but I think they're definitely going to rely on Daniel at this point just for the fact that they want to rely on him. So we'll see what that means. For Dallas, for them picking Bourne or Burke is going to be a big challenge, especially having three cornerbacks. He's probably going to be the starting back, and Tart Jr. is going to be more of the slot guy. So we'll see what that does for the team. And then you got Peaks, who's going to be, for a main QB, Peaks is going to be a guy who I can think if they can treat him well in the next few years, they're going to really rely on him a lot more for that QB position. They got fullback, running back, they got everyone fulfilled on that offensive line. We're going to see a lot big changes going forward. So, and then you got the right defensive tackle. That position is going to be really dangerous. That defensive line is going to be dangerous, especially we got Liner and Mitten as his backup. It's going to be really good. It's going to be looking forward to for and then you got Green Bay, you got, you know, all of those teams. So now we're into the New York Empire, their first draft pick for the second round. They're picking Jamie Rodgenkamp, red defensive end, 82 overall for that one. That's an interesting move for the Empire. I mean, let's look at that real quick. The Empire, I mean, if I can get it in here. There we go. Yeah, I mean, already, I mean, they have a great O-line, and now putting another spot on that defensive side is really going to make a difference. So we'll see if they focus on the left defensive tackle. We'll see if that really makes a difference. But either way, I think the defensive end side is really going to make a really big difference. So looking forward to that one. Next up, Dallas. The Dallas Sheriffs picked a left tackle on the 34th overall draft pick. And I think, in my opinion, that right defensive tackle was a really great move. But I also think it was an awesome move with that left tackle. I mean, just for that left tackle, it's going to make a lot of big difference. I mean, you got the cornerback, and now you got the left tackle. It's going to be a big difference. And I think that's really going to be interesting once he gets started in week 1 next week. So it's going to be very interesting to see where that goes going forward. The next draft pick goes to Cincinnati. Cincinnati, they have been all right and off in the great start with that right defensive tackle. So let's see what Cincinnati picks for this next draft pick. For the 35th overall draft pick, they pick Mo Pollock, free safety. Very interesting draft pick for Cincinnati, for the Salamanders. I mean, hear me out. Replacing Stutter Jr. and make Pollock start is a great move. Because now, I mean, especially for the young guys, it's going to be a little bit more less stressful, but rely on those players like that. It's going to make a big difference on the football field. So we'll see what that does next week once they get week 1 underway. So next up, we got Atlanta. Atlanta picks Richard Bolin, 82 overall draft pick for that one. I mean, I think they actually picked a left defensive end and a right defensive end. So definitely, I see what they're trying to do, and definitely I'm looking forward to it, and definitely will make a very big difference going forward with that. And I think that's going to be a major difference to see what that does for this team. So, I mean, kind of a big difference, but definitely, like, it's not big of a difference, but I'm looking forward to it. Next up, it's Kansas City time. It's Kansas City. They picked the wide receiver, definitely a bronze star, so definitely going to make a big butt difference. And definitely we'll see what that does for them on the offensive side of the ball. Let's see what that second round draft pick they pick. They picked quarterback. Wow, Glenn Sawyer, 37th overall draft pick. And I will say them picking a guy like Sawyer for this one, that's going to be dangerous. That's going to be a big difference for this defense. I'm looking forward to it going forward. So I'm so looking forward to it and see what that does for a lot of these players. So do I need to auto sort these players? I swear to God, we have to. I'm probably going to do it after the draft class. Who knows? But anyway, the next draft pick, which is for Philadelphia, they pick Cameron Coots. I think it's a Coots. Is it cornerback? 82 overall. That's a pretty big one. That's a big one. I mean, especially, you got a quarterback to start with, and then you got a cornerback. So, that's a big deal. And people are still waiting for our punters and their kickers, which is crazy. I mean, there's still a lot of players on the board at this point. There's a lot of players on the board, so we'll see what that does in the final rounds. I mean, we still got a lot of left guards. We got some tight ends remaining. We got a lot of wide receivers. We got a lot of running backs. Not a lot of QBs picked either, so things are going to get very interesting off the get-go as things go on. So next up, it's Pittsburgh. The Titans are up next. They picked left defensive end Bernie Fluellen. That's a pretty good one. I will say that's a pretty good one. In my opinion, that's a pretty good one. In my opinion, that's like a pretty good pick if you're Pittsburgh. I mean, already, you got your center already, good start. You got a good left defensive end with you. I am so looking forward to see what that does for this team. And when you got three good offensive players, you got Razzo, you got Harvey, you got Avies, and you got Mooring with that. That is going to be a dangerous offense for Pittsburgh. It's going to be interesting as they go on. So, and then you got Stilling for, goodness gracious. Things are going to get interesting off the get-go. I think it's going to get interesting as we go on. And Washington's going to look like a good offense, and they know what they're going to do with their offense. It's going to get interesting as things get, you know what I mean? But here we go. Indianapolis Racers, they're up first. They're up next. The 40th draft pick. They're picking Coleman Cherlin with the 40th overall draft pick. That's pretty shocking to me. That's pretty kind of interesting. Next up is the Corsairs, and they picked Summerfield for their draft pick and their last draft pick. And I think that was a pretty good move. Building up that cornerback team will definitely make a big difference along the way. But let's see what they pick. They pick a wide receiver, Tom Schmidt, a 44th first overall draft pick. And already, that is going to be a big deal for this offense. If we can find that new draft pick. There we go. Let's see. Yep, there we go. That's going to be a big deal. You got Watson and Schmidt as your two main guys. That's going to be a really good draft class for you. And you're making that a really good offense. So I'm so looking forward to some of these teams next week, and we'll see what that does with the next draft pick. Next up is New Orleans. The 42nd draft pick is up next. They're picking Janessa Jepson for the right guard position, which is kind of shocking, but I can see what they're trying to do with that. I can see what they're trying to do. They got Batangula, you got Jepson as a backup. That's pretty good. And I think that's a pretty smart move because Sunderman is going to be retiring soon. And definitely having that backup is really going to mean a lot. Being the first offense. Now, their biggest struggle right now is their defense. But give New Orleans a couple of years, I can see the Crawfish being champions if they know what they're doing the next couple of years. So, yeah, they are doing themselves a lot of favors in the next couple of years. Next up, it is, I think it's the Kraken. San Diego Kraken's up next. And they picked a quarterback, Staley, all right off the get-go. That was a pretty interesting move. We'll see what they do with that because they got a good wide receiver core. They got a good tight end. But let's see if they pick a good offensive running back. I think that should be their main focus right now. Because, a fullback would be great, but a running back, you got a few slots left. You got a lot of slots left to look at with your players. So if I would pick McNutt, I think it's the time to really open it. No, they picked Delon Atancio. Wow, they picked a wide receiver core on that one. That is interesting. That's an interesting draft pick to have a new wide receiver in the bunch. instead of running back. I mean, I can see what they're doing, but I can see why they're not going running back because they got a good wide receiver core. That will do them a lot of favors. We'll see. Like I said, we'll see what that does in the next couple of years for these guys. But man, that's going to do a lot for them. So I do want to go ahead and go auto deficit on these players as well. I mean, that's going to be, I mean, that's going to do a lot for them. So let me see real quick. I mean, this team, I mean, some of these rosters are going to look very interesting once we get into the players. I mean, that cornerback, I mean, Buffalo's going to look like a team to be reckoned with once they hit that good defensive core, once they get their next pick in. But next up, next up is San Francisco and the Miners. They're picking Carter Shakespeare, a quarterback. Wow, that's interesting. I mean, at this point, I can see why, too. I mean, a lot of these teams are looking like they're going to be promising players. I mean, you got Kajusty, the backup, who they'll probably build on in a couple years. Once Cassidy retires, they're probably going to build on him. And then you got Shakespeare in the cornerback position. That's going to be interesting, especially with this offense being 12 overall. I mean, I am so looking forward to like this team doing great. So next up is the Cougars, Detroit Cougars. And definitely a team that I'm so looking forward to with this offense. And they're picking next Curtis Horgan, left defensive tackle for the Detroit Cougars. I mean, that one's a good one. I will say that is I wonder, I mean for a good offensive, I mean, hear me out. I mean, this is going to get interesting. I mean, for a left defensive tackle and a right defensive tackle, that's going to get interesting. That is interesting. And especially when you're a rebuild team like Detroit, I can see them picking defensive players along the way. And I like to see what that does for them. So next up, next player, which is the Denver Peaks. So about the Bear, the cornerback, they have picked a cornerback for that one. And already, from the auto sort so far, I mean, they look like a promising team. I can see it. I mean, I can see their defense with Bear be a piece that they need. So definitely something that they desperately needed along the way. And I'm still looking forward to it because that means that they're going to be doing something along the way. So next up, they got let's see, they do got some running backs still. They got some couple of QBs left, but then afterwards you got like 66, 65 overall, which is kind of wild to me. But anyway, the LA Voltage, they picked the cornerback Giovanni Villagrana for the 47th pick, which is interesting because I think, I mean, this is going to get interesting. I mean, their QBs and all that, it's going to get very, very, very interesting. So either way, I am looking forward to what that does for this offense. So, but anyway, let's keep going. Let's keep moving. Let's keep moving the show. I mean, we're almost there. We're about almost halfway. Once we end this round, we're going to keep going. We're trying to basically end the stream by this draft pick, and we're going to go one by one, each by each. Next up, Darren Ederdy for this one. Cleveland picks Jaron Cumby, led defensive tackle for this one. And Cleveland, in my opinion, they're kind of making an interesting decisions. They have been focused on the running back core. They're not been focused on the QB position. And they have focused on the defensive tackle focus, which is not a lot of teams would assume that Cleveland would do. They would automatically go for a QB at that point. So you would think, I mean, there's a lot of QBs looking for a team at this point. So we'll see. Next up, the Arizona Scorpions. Oh boy, this team, at this point, I could see this team be promising with their offense and defense. I can see it. I mean, this is, would I see them be a championship contender this year, 2026? I don't know. I really don't. I mean, it's a good focus, but we don't know. But, well, we'll see. But now for the 49th pick. They picked Billy Mitchell, a right defensive tackle. Wow, that was an interesting one because they kind of focused on the O-line, and now they have focused on the defensive line. I can see what they're doing, and I like what they're doing because they're picking players and teams that they can rebuild and they can look at, you know what I mean? It's going to get interesting as we go on in the next couple of, you know what I mean? I mean, it's going to be interesting. Minnesota, they picked Grover Christian, 81 overall. So, Minnesota, so far with their offense and defense, they picked mostly O-line, which is interesting. I think that's interesting. For one big reason only. They are basically looking at the new guys and looking for the young guys, and they definitely want to look at younger players to start their O-line, which is, I would say that's very, very smart, especially if you want Crane to perform in Minnesota the way you want to perform. And for Crane, I mean, for him being young, I mean, Westhoff and Amore are probably going to retire in a couple years. So if I were Minnesota next year, they need to focus on that QB. But I think them focusing on that O-line is really going to do a lot for them. So definitely looking forward to that one. Next up is Miami for the 51st draft pick. Andy Dustin, the left guard. Man, a lot of these teams are focused on O-line players, and I like it. This is a really brand new decisions. I like some of these teams' decisions, and I like how they're really like focusing on their main stars. They got Park as their first round draft pick. They got Dustman as their O-line. I like what they're doing. It is going to help their offense with this. That's going to be the big question. Is will they be a better ranked offense than they have been in the past several years? Don't know, but we'll see how that goes. I mean, Park could be a player in the next couple of years. If they progress what they want to do, it's going to be interesting. So looking forward to that. So next up is for the 52nd draft pick, the Buffalo Steel are up next. They picked Douglas Byer, a running back. Okay, that is an interesting draft pick. Douglas Byer. And they have quite kind of pulled off a shocker a little bit. Oh, they also have Chet Falla, I forgot. Falla is the backup. Chris Falla is the backup. So looking forward to what that does for this team. But we'll see what that does for them. I mean, especially having like a backup like Falla to start in next week for next season. It's going to be interesting. So looking forward. I mean, you got Dakota starter, you got a running back Byer to start. It's going to get interesting as they go. So we'll see. Next up, New England's up next. New England picks Red Iglesias, left guard, 81 overall, and definitely a kind of a shocker. I will say. I do want to make sure I get these all sorted out, so once we get started this season, we're ready to go. But definitely been a it's getting interesting as we go on through this draft because, I mean, picking up backup left guard, man, that's gonna be interesting. I mean, that point, man, New England could be a potential champion if they really know what they're doing and they're picking these. And I'd say so far, some of these players who are being drafted like this, even the Empire, they're knowing what they're doing. They are doing themselves. I mean, they got 2 bronze stars on that left guard, and they got Camp on that left defensive end. That's gonna be dangerous. I mean, you got 2 dogs in that Empire, and boy, it's gonna be a problem for a lot of teams once you got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-star players on that O line, and you only got 1 running back who's 33, who's a silver. I'm so looking forward to this Empire team. It's so much better at handling that O line. It's gonna get interesting as we go on. I mean, for Philly, they're doing great. I mean, I feel like some of these teams, we could see them be great on the offense, but we'll see what that does. I mean, Washington is going to be a team to be reckoned with. Once they get their draft pick going, it's going to get as we go on. Next up is Las Vegas. Evander Gagnon, cornerback. Wow, a cornerback for Las Vegas. Let me see what they have so far for their roster. They look like a really good team. I mean, they got Gagnon, who's a starting cornerback now. They got Frampton as a starting wide receiver. They got 2-star running backs who are probably going to be competing for the starting role. They got a backup, like they got Burt and Cummins, who I think both as the same overall for their age difference, even if it's like a 8-year difference. And then you got that bronze star O-line. It's gonna be a very interesting O-line as they go. So I'm so looking forward to this team. Next up, the Metros. They're picking Cisco Prescott, a running back. That is interesting. They picked a running back of all things, which you would think like they're like, oh, okay. For their team, you would think, I mean, they're over 1 overall. I mean, you might as well just take it at that point. I mean, you might as well take it because you got that great O-line who can really help you with out routes, especially those pitch plays. That left tackle is going to do a lot for you if you know what you're doing. Especially Ferrier is basically 88 overall. That's going to be a big difference going forward. So looking forward to that in the next couple years. Next up, the Seattle Emeralds. They're picking Kayshawn Merton, a right defensive end. And let me see what they have been doing. And I think they're actually looking like, okay, this is interesting. They have picked a starting right defensive end. They have picked a starting cornerback. This is going to be very interesting what this defense does with these new draft picks. I think they're trying to be focused on the defensive side. Just like what was that one coach, Pete Carroll, tried to do in the 2010s when Pete Carroll tried to do that whole, Legion of Boom stick. I can see what their strategy is. I like it. This is a great strategy for Seattle. I guarantee you they're like, let's see what Pete Carroll did. Oh, okay, this is great. This is going to be perfect. I guarantee you they're pulling that playbook already with this. And them picking a right defensive end, a cornerback role, this is going to get good. So we're already halfway of the round number 2. We're about 7 more draft picks to the second round, and we'll take a little break afterwards. A little break. So next up, next up, it is Tennessee. They picked the left guard, Duron Basie. Left guard, okay, that's again kind of surprised a little bit, but at the same time, I see what they're trying to do. They're picking left guard, left tackle, left guard. They're focusing on that blind side on the QB. Love to see that. That's gonna help them a lot for Skylar, which is gonna be great. Looking forward to that. I mean, that's going to be, I mean, hats off to them trying to think more like, okay, we need to get that left guard on that side. So we'll see what that does. So next up, Baltimore Stars are up next. Teodoro Molden, a center this time. A center, kind of a little different. Next up, the Chicago Blues. And I will say, for what they have been doing for the Baltimore Stars, there you go. I think they're doing really good at handling their O-line now. And I think if they could pick a right guard next round or even a left guard, I think their offense will do a lot of favors for them. So, looking forward to that. So, the Chicago Blues are up next. So, they picked a right guard, Navon Khan, 81 overall for the 59th draft pick. I think that's a pretty good draft pick in my opinion. Next up is Washington. The first place on defense. You gotta love this so far. I'm so looking forward to this team. It is, I mean, and for Chicago, I like this strategy. I really do for Chicago. I like this. They're picking their O-line. And they're picking a backup for the right guard because that right guard's going to retire soon. And I'm so looking forward to what that does for them. And picking that right guard position for a backup is going to do a lot for them. And even if Chicago does not place first and they go through another offseason like they did last season, or not last season, but them going to the divisional round the way they did, I still think they're looking like a promising team picking that draft pick as it is. So next up, round number 2 up next. They're picking Common Mascari, a tight end. Finally got a tight end on this one for Washington. And I think this was the perfect opportunity for them to do so. This team, they've been 16th overall. And them getting a tight end on that, it's going to be awesome. Looking forward to it. I think them picking a tight end is amazing. Because now Snorton doesn't have to rely on Dukas as much. They have Spanos, they got Godfrey, they got Dukas, they got Mascari now. I mean, they even got Watkins and Peters on the running side. They got Dold. Yeah, they got Dold. And then they got a great O-line already. This is perfect for them. This is how you do Washington offense, in my opinion. So looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to what that does for them. So next up, next up is Houston, the Rough Riders, who they had a couple of players retired. A player retired in that team. But let's see what Houston does. I mean, Houston had an awesome run last season. They lost the conference championship. They lost, I think, the Eastern Conference. But they had one hell of a run. And they picked Vance Trefethan, a right tackle. Very awesome move, by the way. Very awesome move. And I'll explain why in just a bit. So, if you don't know, they had a player, I think it's the right tackle, retired. And them picking this now is going to do a lot of awesome stuff for them. It's going to do a lot for them. For one, they got 2 blind sides now that they're going to be higher overall. And yes, and their quarterback's not that great on the offensive side, but it's going to block a lot of their blind sides for the QBs. So that's going to be a really big benefit once they get these guys in. So we'll see if they're bust or not, but looking forward to it. Looking forward to what this Houston offense will do, especially that O-line is going to do a lot. So next up is the Cardinals. Yes, the Carolina Cardinals. They pick Walter Lawson, the left tackle, 81 overall. This is interesting. If I can find the team. There you go. Yeah, I think them doing this is awesome. Seeing them doing this now after losing the conference championship, this was a great move. I think this is going to do them a lot of favors. It's going to do them a lot of favors going forward when it comes to their offense. And I think they definitely need it because Pap needs someone to protect him on his blind side, and that left tackle will definitely be a great move. And especially that defensive end will definitely play a big move going forward. And them doing that, it's going to do a lot of favors for them. So, and then Cincinnati, man, I'm so looking forward to this offense, but also looking forward to this defense. Things are going to get very interesting as we go forward. And by the way, Powell is a bronze, by the way, on that draft pick. So I'm so looking forward to it. They pick a bronze out of the blue. It's going to be great for them. So I do want to make sure I get all these players sorted and all that. So there we go. I want to update these rosters as we go forward because all right, let's keep going. So next up, we got the Green Bay Beavers. They picked a wide receiver, Isaac Dillon, for the 63rd draft pick. So now for the final draft pick, Jacksonville is going to get interesting. So now we got nothing more but like some high overalls for wide receivers and running backs, tight ends, left guards, left tackles. We still got some defensive end size on the wall, and then we got some kickers we're still waiting and punters still waiting. That should be some of these teams' number one priorities right now for the next round, in my opinion. So next up, Jacksonville. They picked Freyar, which I think was a great move to bump up their defense. I think at this point, if you want to be a dynasty, defense wins championships. And I think them doing this now is going to be perfect for them. So them doing this now is going to be great. So, and also let's talk about Green Bay for the runner-ups from last year. They are doing awesome because now they got a weapon of wide receiver. They don't have to rely on Nygren or Farrell or Renew. They also got Villion to be starting as well. So that's going to do a lot for them. And you got Sweetland for that running back. And, I mean, that's going to be... And even got DeAndre to start. I mean, you don't need a kicker at that point. That's going to be great. So I'm just looking forward to what Green Bay does in a couple seasons once they get themselves back into the fray. So next up. The champions. They picked Alan Koss, left defensive tackle for Jacksonville Storm. I think, in my opinion, that was a... let me see what that does for the roster. Let's see. There it is. I think, in my own opinion, I think they're really focused on getting that not defensive line and that defensive safeties and all that. They're really focused on that. And I think that's a really good move. I think this whole draft should be their defensive rebuild. So... definitely looking forward to what that does for them. So, on to the third round we go. We got 4 more rounds after this. So, let's go ahead and take a break. I will see you all when I come back. And for those who are on the YouTube channel, just grab a snack and all that, relax. Just relax for a bit. Thank you guys for coming into the stream. Thank you guys for coming in. And for the Twitch side, thank you guys for coming. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys an ad break. Thank you guys for coming into the... you guys are going to be getting an ad break if I can. If I cannot, that's a bummer. So... Could I do that? No, I cannot. But thank you guys for coming in. I greatly appreciate you all coming in today's stream. I greatly appreciate you all coming in. And it means a lot to me for those who come in, and it means a lot to me for those who support me. So thank you guys for coming in. I appreciate you guys doing a lot. So and we'll be doing a lot more coming soon. So we're doing a lot more of this during the weeks ahead. We're almost next Tuesday. Don't forget next Tuesday. We're going to be doing a lot more of this. So I think we got an ad already, don't we? Yep. The ad, I think that already's over. Okay, so welcome back to the ad. So let's go ahead and continue. I'm surprised that there was an ad break. I didn't realize there were ad breaks already. So, all right. So round number 3. So already in a really good situation for Empire. I mean, they're doing themselves a lot of good favors for that left defensive end and that left guard. I mean, having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-star players on your O-line. I mean, that should tell you a lot what they're having on the table in this team. And even you got Hats at the backup. He's probably going to progress better. We got Schmidt, who's young. We'll see what that does for him. Love to see that does for him. You got center. You got 24-year-old. I mean, a lot of these guys. Yes, you got Quinny, who probably will retire soon. You got Lawyer, who's probably going to be replacing him in the next 8 more years. And that's going to give another shot for another chance for Empire to rebuild their time. They got a lot of time to rebuild. And then you got a right tackle, like Clario from a few years back. That's going to help them a lot. That's going to really help them a lot. And then you got Camp now, and now you got pretty much an open field for defensive builds. So love to see what they're doing. So for the first pick in the 3rd round, they picked another wide right defensive end, who is McQuell's Kenworthy. That's kind of, I don't know, man. I feel like they'll focus on that defensive end side. I can see what they're doing, but I don't know, man. I have this bad. I mean, actually, no, this is not left defensive end. It's right defensive end. Correction on that. So already they're in a really good spot. They're in a really great spot now, where next round they can look at left defensive tackle, right defensive tackle. They can look at somebody to replace Brian, or they can look for somebody to replace Goodlet. Which, if I was Goodlet, definitely I would be kind of scared, because, I mean, due to your age right now, I would be kind of scared if this year, next year, you're going to be replaced by another good player soon. Same goes for linebackers, outside linebackers. It's going to get interesting as things go on. Next up is the Sheriffs. Now, as of right now, I mean, you got 2-star cornerbacks. I mean, it's going to be interesting as we're all ready for Dallas. I mean, you got a great left tackle for that blind side, and then you got that cornerback already built up. That's going to really build that defense that you need, and that's going to be dangerous for a lot of these quarterbacks. When you got 2-star players on that, and you got Nemo on that linebacker side, but I think this year is probably going to be his last year on the lead. I don't know how long that's going to be, but that's really going to be the question: is this going to be his last year? So, what's what the Dallas going to pick? They picked a punter, Ray Rayburn. Okay, they picked him in the 66th overall draft pick, and as much as a surprise, actually, no, they got a bronze star for their special teams. That's going to be good for them, actually. That's going to be interesting. I mean, that is good. And they got a young quarterback team. They got a young left tackle now. Now your focus now should be center next year, because you got 2 guys who are going to be like in their 30s. So you're should be looking at like replacing those guys. You got Deeker, you got Collins. I think right tackle should be your next draft pick, in my own opinion. Next up is Cincinnati. And already they're in a really good spot. I mean, yes, 32nd overall on defense. I think your next draft pick should be left defensive tackle or right defensive end. Focus on that that defensive line. You already got enough of a great O-line to help you. Now let's see what you can do with that defensive line. Or you can go for the running back spot, which I would suggest that too, because you got some older guys who are probably not going to do much for your O-line. So we'll see. They picked a punter, Kareem Kittrell, and that's actually a really good spot for them, for their special teams. 88 overall, looking great. I mean, I'd like to see what that does for him. And just for Cincinnati alone, we'll see what that does for him. And let's see if the Bronze Star... Nope, there's no Bronze Star, but... I mean, definitely we'll see what that does for them. I mean, we'll see. I mean, like I said, we'll see what that does for them in the next couple of weeks with these new guys. And I think them picking a star punter like that, it's going to be a big deal. So looking forward to that with that special teams. Next up is Atlanta. And already Atlanta is looking like a really good team as well. That defensive end. And like I said, if I were Atlanta, go for your linebackers or go for your safety core. At that point, if you really want to go offensive, don't worry about offensive line. If you want to look at the offense, look at your tight ends, look at your wide receiver core as well. I mean, a wide receiver would be great for Lavelle Senior, because he's going to be 31. So I think a guy like him would definitely need somebody who could help that O-line really do him a favor for. So anyway. Atlanta picks, that's what I said, Rudolph Hale. Very interesting, a very wise choice in my opinion. That is going to be a big deal now, and like I said, they are making wise choices. And like I said, a wide receiver core or that right defensive tackle would be great. But even that defensive tackle would be great. But I think they're in a really great spot opportunity to now take the tight end or wide receiver spots. I think that is perfect for them and all that. I think their next draft pick focus on a short safety or like a backup short safety, or look for a guy who can really get yourself a really good opportunity to get something get someone like a cornerback or something, a backup cornerback or a tight end or something. Because now Schmidt is probably going to be your bottom spot player. He probably won't be getting any spots in the opportunities going soon. Next up is Kansas City. They have a really good opportunity now because they got Kubala now. They got Sawyer, which he's 20 years old. He's young. We're gonna look forward to it. He's probably the youngest of the cornerback team. And I think if I was in their GM room, go for the linebacker role. They got a 37-year-old guy who can really replace. Or you can go outside linebacker. You got Tyson in there, and even a backup would definitely do a beneficial for them. But if you really want to do it, go for short safety, and even a tight end would be great as well. And then, like I said, if you want to pick a quarterback as well, that will do a lot of favors, especially for 79 overall. You can pick Combs or Cavalry now for the clock. So let's see what they pick. They pick Cedric Myers, a kicker, which is kind of something now you're not out of your bingo card, and definitely pretty much something that will help that special teams. Myers looks like a guy who definitely could do a lot of favors for him. He's 89 straight, 50 speed, 83 skill, and 84 overall. And he's definitely has that skill to kick. So we'll like to see what that does for him down the road. So we'll see what that does for him. So anyway, next up is Philadelphia. Man. Philadelphia. Where do I begin with them? So they got like Klaus. They got Coons. They got Coons, who is 82. They got a right defensive end. They got a left defensive tackle. I mean, why not take you got a great O-line, you got a great defensive line. Why not take a tight end or a wide receiver now? This is your opportunity to rebuild this team out of the ashes, and this is a perfect opportunity to do so. And they picked the kicker. Okay, they have that's a kind of a shocker too. I mean, that's a pretty smart move too. You want to build that special teams, and Penn is great, but also Pierce would definitely be that missing spot. That would definitely make it very different as usual. It would definitely it would definitely make a change a little bit for the O-line to do. So definitely be something looking forward to, and definitely be something. So now we're on to the third round. Now on the Pittsburgh Titans are up next. And if I were Pittsburgh, definitely go for a running back, a fullback, or if you really want to be going greedy, go for a right defensive tackle or go for a punter or kicker. Focus on that special teams as well. I mean, I would definitely say special teams would be a great one too. And they do. Mana of Gold, 83 overall for the 71st overall draft pick. Absolutely a great pick. And definitely, them picking a kicker now will benefit them with offensive points later. And Gold definitely is the standard. I mean, he's anyone's skill. I mean, 83 overall, 35 speed, and 44 agility. But that strength of kicking, 88, is going to do a lot for him. So looking forward to that. And actually, like I said, that center holding that ball, which is Harvey, is going to make the difference. And definitely, I like what they're doing in these first 3 rounds. I mean, they picked the center, they picked the left defensive end, and now they got Gold. Definitely something to see for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh rebuilding, and like I said, Titans are going to be a really big build going forward as they go on. Next up, Indianapolis. They have been focusing on a lot of their guys on their defensive core. And I think that has been doing a lot of benefit for them. But like I said, if I were Indianapolis, go for a running back, a fullback, or, I mean, you got a good special teams. You got decent special teams. You got 81 overall. You got 86 overall. But go for right tackle. Go for something on the offensive side than just something different. So go for it. But Vernon Twyford, man, that's a disappointment of a pick. And Tampa Bay picks Kobe Fotaggio. Okay. So back-to-back picks already. Good. We'll see what that does for, let's start with Tampa Bay. And then we'll go from there. Tampa Bay, they're looking like a defensive focus. They have focus on their D-line. They're focused on their defensive core. And I think that is really going to make the difference, especially at short safety. I kind of said before, if I didn't, I would say now, definitely getting that free safety and that short safety should be their focus. And I was right. I was kind of surprised that they kind of did the way they did, but I think that was a pretty good call for it. Better than what's that one other team that they did? Let me look. Who did it beforehand? Let me see. Let me see real quick. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. But yeah, definitely will be a team. There we go. Yeah, here we go. Indianapolis. And I think, like I said, that's going to be a great pick for him. Rayburn was a great pick. Cottrell was a great special teams pick. Yeah, here you go, Pierce. Yeah, I mean, I can see them doing that, like going for Pierce, who's an 84 overall. I can see that. I just have a conflict that's going to really cost them their offensive focus, which I think that's really going to cost them. But I can see what they're doing with that. So next up, New Orleans. This team, I can see them go focus on punter. I can see it. I can see New Orleans be focused on the punter, a running back, a fullback, or even be focused on the defensive line. Like I said, anything goes for them. And like I said, if I were them, focus on special teams or their defense, not focused on their offense. I think, yes, of course, you got a great offense, you got a tight end, you got wide receiver core. Definitely a team that could look forward to next season. And you got a really good offensive line that can really help you a lot, especially with Jepson getting drafted. That's going to do a lot for you. They picked a kicker, Tyron Rabel, which is very wise move. I think it was a really, really wise move. They have made a very, very wise move, and I just think in general, that's really going to do a lot, especially with Patagula in that starting cornerback slot, and now you got Rabel in that kicking slot. That's really going to settle down the problems for New Orleans immediately. So next up, the Kraken, San Diego Kraken. They have been really good with their draft picks. They got a new wide receiver. They have a new quarterback to start off with. And then now they got a lot in their hands. The question now is, are you going to focus on your cornerbacks? Are you going to focus on your full free safeties? What are you going to do? Because at that point, I mean, I could probably say is go for free safety. You got a 4-year-old in that team. I don't think a good backup 4-year-old would do anything for you favors. But if you also want to look for your O-line, go over there too. You got some older guys who could do it. Like a center would be great. A center would help. Also, the other O-line doesn't look like a problem. I think, like I said, looking at those guys would definitely make a big difference. They picked a free safety, Reggie Sneed. That's an interesting one. I mean, that's a pretty smart move. Reggie Sneed. I mean, that's a pretty smart move. I mean, getting a younger guy in that spot now, and like I said, would definitely do a lot for him. So let's see what that does. I mean, like I said, let's see what that does for their defense, and especially for being second place on that defense. That will definitely do a lot for you. So next up, the Miners. The Miners have been doing all right. They had a backup QB to pick with, to build and all that, which is, I think, was a wise move. I think Shakespeare. I think now, like I said, you need to get either Lakes or Arroyo out of your team, or you can get Decker to be replaced, and you can look for a guy who could be that short safety. Anything at this point is anything goes. I mean, inside linebacker would be great because you got two late 30-year-old guys. But I think, like I said, that kind of stuff I think is going to be important with their decisions going forward, and I think that's something they need to be considering. And they picked a light tackle, Curto Matty, for that one. Let's see what that does for the Miners. And I can see what they're doing. I mean, that O-line is going to be interesting. And like I said, I mean, backup QB now, an O-line is going to help Cassie a lot for his 43-year-old age. And especially when you got Matty on the fray and you got a backup with an 8-year-old, that's going to be really big difference and a really big play into the situation. So definitely looking forward to it. So next up, the Detroit Cougars. They picked Gabriel Tones. Let's see what that does for them. I mean, I can see them doing that. I mean, that's a really interesting decision. I could see them focus on that special teams as well. Like I said, their own offensive player, I mean, they can get a wide receiver or something later in the round, and that can really help them. But again, I don't know, man. That was a pretty kind of a weird decision to do. But either way, I don't know, man. Next up, they got Denver. Denver has been, oh boy. I mean, this is interesting. Like I said, they got a bunch of QBs who are 22 at this point, and I'm looking forward to this rookie QB getting a start. And then you got Bear for the cornerback, and now let's see what this does for their team. They picked the QB as well, Rayford Filbert, 83 overall. Let's see. It's Denver. There we go. It's kind of a head scratcher for a bit, but I can see what they're doing. I mean, they got a QB. They have been focused on Bear. They're focused on Filbert. I mean, like I said, we're kind of into that third round. So next up, LA. LA has been, I don't know, man. When you got a backup QB and a great quarterback, I think you need to go either a tight end or a wide receiver. You gotta go for it. No, you went for kicker, Kendrick Meyer. Interesting. We'll see what that does for you. I mean, I can see what they're doing with that. I can see what their game plan is, but I don't know, man. I just feel like that's a little bit off with me. I don't know. As much as like people disagree with me with that, I can see what they're doing, but I don't know if that's really going to make an impact for your team. Next up, Cleveland. Oh man, Cleveland has been making some interesting decisions, and I would not suggest them to take their punter or kicker over. I'm sorry, but I think them keeping their special teams is going to be their best decision. I don't think taking a punter or kicker is their best decision. I think maybe like an outside linebacker, inside linebacker, a right defensive tackle, a tight end, a fullback, something else. Maybe a QB at this point. I don't know, but I would suggest taking something instead of like a punter kicker. A left guard, okay, a left guard. Now that's a wise decision. I can see that too. I can see them going for that too. I can. And I'll tell you why. I mean, that's pretty good. That's a wise decision. I mean, your offense is 30th overall, and you picking an O-line already off the gates, and a left guard is going to do you a lot of favors. I mean, it's going to do you a lot of favors. I mean, center, you got a right guard. Of course, you got those players that can really make a difference. So next up, we got the 81st draft pick. And we got about 15 more draft picks. Next up, the Arizona Scorpions. Oh boy, where do I begin with this team? They are really impressing. I'm impressed. They have picked a right tackle. They have picked a right defensive tackle. And it's going to be a very different situation. So they picked Daniel Sparrow for that one. Let me see what that does for them. Let's see. Ooh, okay. I see what you're doing. That's kind of a surprise a little bit. I mean, and him starting would be great because that is pretty smart. I will say that is pretty smart. Get a good high overall defense. And like I said, getting a short safety right now is going to be a big game changer. I think I said it earlier too, that picking a short safety would definitely be a necessity for them now. I mean, that right tackle was going to fill in right around the get-go. But then a short safety, man, that is going to be a big, massive difference. So already looking hot right now with what they're doing. Love what they're doing. This is perfect for them. So next up, the Minnesota Walleye. Oh my gosh, this is going to get interesting. So they got Christian, they got Lamb, they got Mayers, they got a lot of guys who I think if they want to go linebacker, they go linebacker, left defensive end, a short safety would be great because they have got some low performing players. A wide receiver would be awesome because now they got someone to fill in for their offense. Because they got a 13 overall offense, I would suggest that. And I was right. Lonzo Pixley. And that is awesome. That is an 81 overall slot. And man, they have really did themselves a really good favor. If we can find it. That is a perfect, I mean, that's going to fill in a lot of their missing slot. And now they can get a tight end. They can get another wide receiver they want to. They also can even consider a linebacker or a short safety, because they don't have a lot of good, great players for that. You can also get a left defensive end to replace him. I would mostly prefer that left defensive end next round, because now you got somebody that you can replace over that 79 overall. I don't know, man. I feel like next year could be that year where you focus on that, but I think that them going offensive focus right now have done a lot of them favors. But also defensive wise would do a lot of favors too. Next up, Miami. They got Park. They got Dustman. If I were them, go for an O-line player. You got some older players. You got one older player who's passer who's like 44. And then if you really want to go more deeper than that, go for your defense. You got a lot of older guys And I'm not saying that they can't perform, but if I were next year, plan it out. And like I said, go for that inside linebacker, because like I said, that would really fill you up a lot. Left defensive end would actually be a good one too. They picked Rashawn Davids, who's 81 overall. That was a great move, actually. And they definitely did. They made a really good choice to get their defensive line onto sorts. And like I said, that's perfect for them. Like I said, that is perfect. And like I said, that defensive line, man, that's going to really make a difference for Miami, especially for Park and that offensive line. We'll see what that does. Next up, the Buffalo Steel. Oh boy, where do I begin with this team? You can go fullback. You can go anywhere at this point. You can even focus on your defensive line. I mostly suggest that D-line, because especially your left defensive tackle or that right defensive end, you can go free safety, or even you can even go short safety if you really want to go risk it to the biscuit, if you want to. And they picked the kicker instead. Okay, I can see that too. That could really fill in that spot too. Let's see how's Buffalo doing. I can see that. I mean, you got the best offense. That defensive line's going to be a big, massive difference. And we'll see what that does. And like I said, either way, I like how I'm really making predictions for you guys. It's really, really fun. I'm liking this. This is actually, I should be doing this a lot more with all my all the drafts and all that too. Next up, we got the Minutemen of New England. I will say, I am impressed with the Minutemen. They have their left guard. They got their quarterback. Now, like I said, if you really want to go full defense, go for your free safeties. Go for your free safeties or short safeties if you really want a younger team on that younger defense. But, however, my biggest caution for Minutemen is these older, you got the right defensive tackle and that left defensive tackle, I would say is be forewarned. Because you got Kozar who's 40, you got Boers who's 34, you got Butler who's 40, you got McCline is 42. And I'm not saying that they can't perform. I'm just saying that's going to be their biggest challenge this season. So let's see what they do. They got a left defensive end. Okay, I guess so. I guess they took my advice really well. They actually picked a really good player. And they do get a 41-year-old to still start, but they got a backup just in case he gets injured. Very smart move. I will say, I will give them that credit. I still think it's, especially when you hit 41, you're going to get injured very easily in football. So definitely a smarter move than you typically would think at that point. You would think like, okay, yeah. So we'll see on that. I mean, you got two backups now, and you got a starter which is Scram. That is pretty good. And I think If you're scram, you need to focus on your strength. And that's going to be your biggest challenge as a team. Next up is Las Vegas. Las Vegas is one of those teams. For the very first time in my career as a sports commentator, I will say either go free safety, short safety, or tight end. Those are your only 3 spots left. And plus, I think you can fill those up no problem if you pick the best ones. Okay, you picked an 80 overall short safety. I think that was the best move. Taylor Dreyfus. I like that name. Tyler Dreyfus. There it is. And I think that is perfect. That is a perfect move for you on your defensive side, and that is going to play a lot into this for your season. I think if you can build your players like that, that's going to be great for you. I mean, I think either way, it's going to build a lot going forward, and I think them doing that now is going to be a great turnaround. So definitely going to be doing a lot. I will definitely be looking forward to them. Next up, the New York Metros. And I think this draft class has been kind of impressing. I think if I were a GM, go for your defensive end. Go for your defensive ends. I would suggest keeping your centers as they are, and then keeping your fullbacks. No, do not keep your fullbacks. Replace a fullback. Yeah, light defensive end or a fullback. At this point, you need some fresh talent in that offense and that fresh talent on your defense. You picked the tight end. Okay, that is interesting. You picked the tight end as well. Okay, interesting. And that is definitely going to play a lot of big roles in that one going forward. I think that's a pretty smart move to have a backup as well. I think that's a pretty smart move. You got Farley, you got Belknap, and then you got Scobie. That's a perfect build. And like I said, you got that younger guy backup who's going to start. That's perfect for you. So, like I said, I mean, you got Prescott to start, and then you got Belknap to have that backup line, and then you got that Meltree start. That is perfect for you. That is perfect for you. I mean, that is a perfect offense and defensive mix, and I like it. Next up, the Emeralds. So, this one I really hate saying this. This one is a really toughie for you if you're Seattle. I mean, if you really want to focus on all your defense, go all in. Go your lead defensive tackle, or go to your linebacker, or go to your offensive linebacker, or you go for your short safety or your free safety. At this point, rebuild your defense, because your offense is 4th place right now. It's not going to be a big challenging problem. I think your biggest challenge is your defensive rebuild right now. And you do. Free safety. I mean, this is perfect. I mean, this is the Pete Carroll treatment play, but I love this. This is perfect, and I love it. I love how they're trying to pull the Pete Carroll at this point and going all defense. I like it so far. This is perfect. Now we're into the final play teams of round number 3. Now we got the Kings, Baltimore, Chicago, Washington, Houston, Chicago. Those are your next 6. If I were Tennessee right now, you should be focusing on your wide receivers, your fullbacks, or if you really want to risk it to the biscuit, go for your defense. And you went for kicker, Milan Shakes. Okay, Milan Shakes. Okay, that's an interesting pick. And I can see why that too. You want to go for your special teams as well. I like that. That's a pretty good decision. I still think that was a really good decision, and I think that was a really wise move, and I think that was a pretty smart move, so to speak. So, next up, we got the Baltimore Stars, which, as of right now, I could see what they're doing. I could see what they're trying to do. They want to focus on that offensive line. And like I said, if I were them, I would pick either a right tackle to replace, or if you really want to, go for a backup wide receiver, a fullback, a running back, somebody that can really help Tom Brady, not Tom Brady, Tom Brady, to really start performing what they're doing. Because with all the team power that he has, to be honest, it's not going to do him any favors. But at the same time, you got your defensive line that could help. You can get a defensive end. You can focus on your right defensive end. You got cornerbacks who could really look for some backups. But you're focusing on left tackle. That's a good one too. I like that. I mean, I think that was a pretty smart. I think that was going to do yourself a lot of favors if you're Baltimore. As always, Baltimore goes Baltimore. And them doing this now, I think them picking Wesley Kossi for a backup is going to give them a lot of help on that O-line. And like I said, if I were focusing on that offense, you pick someone good. So next up, Chicago. If again, I think them picking their picks right now are looking good. And I think their defense, they can stay. Their offense should be their main focus. A left guard, that's a good one too. I mean, they shouldn't be too focused on being too saturated with it, but I think them doing what they're doing right now is looking really nice. I like it. It's looking really good, and I like how they're doing They're focusing on their O-line. And I think that's what Chicago's been really bringing to the table as of late. They got a great start, a couple starting offensive lines. And so far, we're looking good with that. So next up, Washington. They have been doing spectacular with the picks that they have been picking. They got a tight end to start off with. They got a backup wide receiver. And then now they can really pick anybody at this point. They got Canada to start the left guard, but backup would be phenomenal for them. They can even, if they really want to put their money where their mouth is, they can go for a cornerback. They can look for a backup cornerback or somebody to start with to have that team power. But their biggest concern right now is getting someone that can help the Washington offense do something. And actually, they picked TJ Eppersol, which is kind of an interesting pick. I'm kind of surprised they kind of went onto that. Kind of catch up on the special teams. But at the same time, I can see that. They are like 30 up on special teams. So definitely that kicker filling role would be perfect for them as well. So, like I said, that special teams and offense, which should be their main focus. Their defense is looking promising for the fact that they can do a lot for them. Next up is Houston. They picked Talik Maysil, a left guard. And let's look at Houston right now. And if I was Houston, definitely I like the strategy, what you're doing. I like the strategy. I'm going to be a little honest. I like the strategy that you're doing, especially going runner-up in conference this past season. This is going to be a really helpful thing for your offense, and especially when you got like 1, 2, 3, 4, actually 1, 2, 3 of your main 5-0 line to be your 80 overalls is going to be the biggest thing that will help you once the off season's over. And I think that is really going to do you a lot of favors. So next up, Carolina. Carolina's being Carolina. I will say that. I will say you should go for a wide receiver, a tight end, a wide receiver, or an O-line. Go for something or risk it to the biscuit. Your defense can be your biggest priority next year, and I think you can also go special teams if you want to. If you do, go for a punter. Do not worry about your kicker. You're going for a right tackle. That was pretty good. Deshaun Silvernail, right tackle. Really, really good. I think that was a really, 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 really good. I like it. That was a pretty good decision choice. And in my opinion, that was a very, very, very good decision. Because if you, let me see, what was the last draft pick? I'm kind of looking at the O-line right now. There it is. Carolina. I think Carolina, them doing that right now, taking care of their blind sides right now as their first priority of business is definitely going to help Carolina get over the hump of the conference championship. That's my own opinion. I still think that's the case. Next up, Blaine Rue is up next. Oh, sorry, Green Bay, sorry. Dakota Foley is a good one. Tight end, a very promising one. Now for the final draft pick. Oh, for the final draft pick, Green Bay, I will say they have made a really wise choice to go on their offensive table. Yes, they can really focus on that D-line, but, you know, you can even get some backups if you really want to. But even then, I still think right now, getting a tight end to fill in that old offensive spot, create a little bit of balance on that, that is perfect. If you're Green Bay, this is a perfect opportunity for next season to win the championship that way, because now you got a good tight end that can really fill in that hole that you need either way when you look at it. So I that's just my own hot take. Take it as you will. I still think it was a really, really good decision. Next up, the champions of last season. I still think, and this is just a little hot take, go for your linebackers. Go for your linebackers. Go for your cornerbacks. If you really want to go all defense, man, this is your opportunity. You want to go, I would suggest, let the defensive end or your defensive line now. Go for something. You picked a running back. Ooh, okay. I like to see why you picked that, actually. That's a kind of a different curveball. Oh, okay. That I can see, too. You picked a better running back for your offensive plays. A very, very wise move, too. I can see that well. And I mean, like I said, I can understand why they want to focus on that offense as well. And Connor would be a really great spot, too. I mean, sure, you got Majaya, who has a really great attitude in the team, but also Connor would be a great running back too. But I think also I would suggest for your next draft pick to go for fullback. But that's just me. If you're going to pick another offensive player, go for your fullbacks, fill that up, because either way, if you look at your team age, it's definitely going to play a big factor. So next up, the Empire. They've been really impressive. They got that whole O-line filled. Look at that O-line. They got Schmidt. They got Hess. They got Igil. They got Quinney. They got Lawyer. They got Leclerc. Listen, is Leclerc Q? I don't know what that name is. They got Sweet. And then on that defensive line, the only thing they got is Schneider. But even then, they got Roger Kemp, who got Kenworthy, which they're kind of a little bit more on the older side of the draft class, but I just think that was a really good draft. I think they're really good draft picks, in my humble opinion. So, I think that people can disagree with it. I still think if you really want to go to that defensive side, you go for that right defensive tackle. Oh, you're going for cornerback, Niles Denenbog. That's an interesting one. That's a shocker. That's a shocker. I mean, already they're going all in this thing. Man, they're going all in. Wow. That's a shocker. I mean, and I can see why they want some younger guys in that cornerback team too. And I can see they want to have a lot of energy in that team. And definitely having Littell, who's a older, experienced guy, and then you got Dunner Bog in that one, that is going to be... Ooh, and you got Mason in that slot corner. I am so looking forward with these younger guys being those two guys. I'm so looking forward to it. And then, like I said, you got that O-line, you got that D-line, and like I said, anything in this point can go anywhere. And like I said, picking your 3 defensive players off the get-go definitely gave you a lot of blessings in disguise for that one. Next up, you got... Oh, Dallas. You are probably going to be a championship caliber team if and only if you know what you're doing. And I would go for offense now. You did like a punter, you did a cornerback, you did a left tackle, go for offense. And you do. Left guard, Renner McLeod. That's pretty good. I am impressed. Going for that O-line is looking really good. I'm impressed. That is a pretty good pick. I mean, yes, they got an 80 overall. But I still think that was a really good, really good pick. So either way, I still think that's been a really good pick. Especially the fact you got a fullback, you got Lopes, you got Hopkins, and you got a tight end scheme. I can see what they're doing, and I can see that they want someone to protect the quarterback as much as they can. Now they're pretty smart. Next up, Cincinnati. Oh, man, this team. Oh, I am so looking forward to. Because they picked a Bronze Star. They got a great O-line. But that defensive line with Powell is going to make a lot of people nervous. And they got like Pollock, which does an 82, and then you got like Kittrell, which I think that was a great move, no matter how you twist it. And you pick Emmett Williams. Okay, Emmett Williams. I see you, Cincinnati. Okay. All right, Cincy. All right, how about them, Cincy? Salamanders. How about them, Salamanders? Okay. I mean, look at that. I mean, they got some young guys that take over the older guys, and they're looking really good. And I just think that was a really interesting picks. And I'm surprised. They are impressing me today. They are. I mean, they got that O-line they need, and then picking that defense is perfect. So here we are. They have Atlanta on the board, and Atlanta has also been impressive. They have been. I kind of agree with some of their things. Like they got Bullen, they got a Cuff, that got a lot of these guys who. I mean, and then if they can replace Pike right now, that would be perfect. They can pick a cornerback. They can pick anybody. I can't make that decision, but if I were general manager. As of right now, an inside linebacker or even a fullback or even a tight end will make it different. And you pick the left guard. Wow, a left guard out of nowhere. Okay. Let's see what that does for you. Let's see. Okay, you get a backup. You get a backup guy. I like it. I like this. This is pretty good. I like this. You're building that O-line really good, and I like it. I like what you're doing. This is looking promising, and I like to see them doing more of this. I think the only thing is they got Roethlisberger on the right tackle line, and I'm wondering if they're going to focus on that right tackle next round, or they're going to go into the defensive line this next year. Because if I were them, I would kind of like, and I kind of agree that they kind of want that O-line to build more, and I like that they're what they're doing. It just concerns me now because now will that kind of bite them in the butt a little bit if, let's say, they got some injured players. So next up, Kansas City. They picked a defensive end. It is Quentin Razzo. Let's see what that does for them. Let's see. And I actually can see what they're doing with this. This is like a pretty good team. And I can see that D-line really step up to the plate. I mean, all this D-line player so far is 28. I don't think they need to touch that the defensive end right now. I think them touching that right end, though, that right defensive end is a blessing because now they got a younger guy who Glavion and Edgston and Tynes can teach, and they can really give them that push that they need. So definitely been a great decision. Now onto the Philadelphia Liberty. Oh my gosh, where do I begin with them? They have been kind of the dark horse this draft class. They have been the dark horse. They have a cornerman they're going to start with. They got a kicker. They are not focused on their O-line, which I think that was smart. They got a good left tackle team for the next 10 years. They got a quarterback to build on. Now, like I said, if I were them, go for that wide receiver core. I dare them to do that, please. And you do. Theo Glade, 80 overall, great decision. I mean, look at what you got now. You got basically a really good catcher now. Now, yes, you got Donor, you got Liddick, you got Bashford, you got Carpio. I mean, Donor is probably going to be the biggest struggle for your offense. But even then, you got Liddick, you got Bashford, you got Carpio, you got Chinchola. Those guys are probably going to be like your younger guys are going to be a really big help asset as well. And like I said, I think Donor, if I'm a Clouds, like I said, that's going to be something to keep an eye on if he can really catch the ball because he's the oldest of that group. So it's not a bad thing either because, like I said, that could really teach. I mean, Donor could basically be the teacher of the team, and I like to see what that does for him too. Well, that would really do a lot for him. Next up, the Titans of Pittsburgh. They have been a shocker. I mean, they've been kind of in the dark horse, in my opinion. They got Gold, they got Thelwellen. I mean, they got Harvey. Good, my goodness, man. They have been, they kind of been shocking me all around today with what they're doing. I mean, the craziest thing is they did is pick a center that has a Bronze Star. I think that was something like they were gambling immediately. I guarantee the CPU said, okay, I'm going to gamble this. And they got what they wanted. It's basically just like not Genshin Impact. It's kind of like when you gamble on that Let's Go gambling and what's that other gacha game? Honkai Star Rail. It's basically that. You better hope for a good pull, and they did a really good pull with Harvey. So I still think they're gonna get someone good in this one. Next up, Mika Haycock, a right defensive end. Okay, I'd like to see what that does for you. Let me see. That actually does a lot for you. That defensive end is something they need to replace Nelligan, and them doing that right now is just what they need. I mean, yes, their defense is 12th. They got a great kicker. They got a great defensive line. And yes, Culver's, I mean, say what you will about Collins and Albert. Say what you will about it. I don't think them touching it right now would be their main top priority right now. But them, like, doing a lot of the guys that want to look for backups and people down the road, that is a smart decision. And them doing that right now with, like, Jurgen, they do that with, like, even they do that with a lot of these guys. I am very looking forward to what they do going forward. Next up, Indianapolis. Oh, another dark horse of a draft class. This team never touched their offense. If I were them, go for halfback. Just saying. If you want to go fullback, be my guest. Like I said, if I was any general manager, I would go for fullback all day. Especially for this round, go for it. At that point, I would basically push that button immediately. Go for it. Or you can go wide receiver. I mean, that all-line needs to be rebuilt. Definitely something to take over. And they do. Christopher Broom. 80 overall. Definitely a great decision. I still think the Racers are making another wise decision. I think, yes, that defensive cornerback, free safety, and partner was awesome, but that O-line was definitely needed, and that was perfect. Now they got something to build on. They got building to something on just in case oddly, it's regress and they need someone to have a replacement. And them doing that right now is perfect. So definitely something I'm looking forward to. Next up, Tampa Bay. If I was GM, I would pick a running back. If I wanted to, I mean, yes, I would like to have those guys build. I would probably aim for a third stringer running back. Aim for something that would be something built. Fullback would be great because they look like they got 67, 68 overall. Build that fullback chemistry. That fullback or free safety would be something that they can focus on as well. And they did. Franklin Pedley would be great too. That is a good one. I think that was a great pick for Tampa Bay. And them doing that right now, it's perfect. They did a really good one for, I mean, they have focused on their short safeties and free safeties. And then right now, I mean, a lot of their age and all that is really going to help a lot. And them doing that right now with this defense is going to do them a lot of favors. So, great work, Tampa Bay. Great work. I mean, I would definitely give this class like a B or an A, not like an A++, or like... There's no such thing as an A++, but not an A+. I would give it a B to an A, depending on how they do the next 3 more rounds. So, we're still in round number 4. I mean, and right now, we're kind of into the final round before we get into the late rounders. And we're probably going to see some players that are probably going to be surprising they pick. Next up, New Orleans. And New Orleans... Man, they have been impressive. They got Battaglia, they got Radeline, they got Jepson. What would be their 4th one? If I were them, pick the left defensive end now. If I were them, pick the D-line right now to help them out. No, they picked Dante Coombe, or Dante Cobb, not Coombe, Cobb. If it's Coombe, it's C-O-M-B. It's Cobb, but still, that's a shocking decision to go offense immediately. And I will say that was a pretty, I mean, I could see them doing that as well, to pull the trigger on that one. That was a pretty smart one. I will even say go for fullback if they wanted to. I mean, at that point, if you really want to risk the biscuit, go for fullback. And I think them doing a running back now, getting themselves started on rebuilding, and like I said, that age, 22, 28 on that running back group it's a pretty good one. So, got a couple young guys to build and the older one to be the leader of, even though they're a third stringer. Definitely is going to build a lot of morale in that team. That's going to be doing a lot good. So, already that chemistry is looking really good. And like I said, some of these teams, I mean, all these teams are feeling more neutral right now with that chemistry. So we'll see what that does. Next up, San Diego Kraken. I am surprised that they kind of aim for a quarterback, a wide receiver, and a free safety. So definitely been a little bit of a difference maker a little bit. So let's see what that does for them. They picked a left guard, Sicarius Comer. And, oh, baby, man, they have really done themselves a lot of good favors with that O-line. They have, oh, man, they did really good. I mean, I'm impressed. They could have even focused on that left tackle, but they didn't. They focused on that right guard. They even, like, if they wanted to go for that running back core, I would not have, because, I mean, you still got some younger guys in that team. I mean, still, that's some younger guy. But if you want to go fullback, go for fullback. If you want to go that defensive route, go for that defensive route as well. But I think them we're trying to they're trying to find open opportunities to get that going. And I think them doing that as of that was perfect. Next up, the Miners. I think so far they're doing great. They're doing great. They got free safety. I mean, they can go for free safety. They can even go for linebacker. They can go for outside linebacker. They can go for right defensive end. They can even go for, I would mostly personally go for left defensive end. Just saying. You went for running back. Wow, they have went all offense on that one. That was interesting. They picked Olsen, which, to be fair, I still think that was a good decision too, because you want to get that offensive playmaking on that side. So I think them doing that was perfect. Next up, the Detroit Cougars. I would predict them going defense. They did. They picked a cornerback, Nast Hole, which, in my opinion, I think them doing that right now was a perfect decision. Especially their defense being 29th overall in rankings. I think them doing that was a favor that they needed to. Especially the fact that they needed some new leadership, and them doing that right now, especially some young guys to really help them work on. That does a lot for them. So, definitely does a lot for them. Next up, for the 110th pick, we're almost there to the next round. And I think it's 128, so we're almost there. Next up is Denver. They picked the wide receiver. Let's see what that does for them. I mean, I can see them doing that. I'm just saying, I can see them doing that too. I can see them doing that too. Next up, Los Angeles. If I were them, go for a wide receiver or a tight end. Tyreek Coronado, that's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one, and I think them doing that was a perfect move for Chargers, or yeah, for the Bolts. I think them doing that too for a backup was actually a perfect situation for them, because they got some good leadership now, and they got some guys that can really help them. Next up, Cleveland. Okay. If I were them, if I was a GM for Cleveland, go for O-line. You can go for D-line too. That's a pretty good one. I can see that too. That's a good one. That's a good one. It's something to help that ground game, that defensive line, and that was perfect. I mean, you got that Combi, you got Crow, you got Rugg. I mean, those, and even you got Suda. I mean, that is perfect for you. That's a recipe for success if you're Cleveland. Does not mean that you're going to win a championship this year. I still don't think you're going to. In the next couple of years, you're probably going to need to get focused on your fullbacks, your tight ends, and your wide receiver core. That's going to be your biggest utter challenge in the next couple of years. So, next up, Arizona. They picked a punter, Kyle Bloodgood. Let's see what that does for them. I'm kind of surprised they picked a punter now, which is interesting. I mean, that does a lot for them. I mean, yes, absolutely. That's a good decision. I mean, you got that good old line, that right tackle on that blind side. You have a right defensive tackle that really can help your blind side, that helps that defensive blind side. And then you got a short safety to fill in that short safety, and then you got a punter to really fill in that the special teams. I mean, I like it so far. All right, Minnesota. If I were you, as much as if I was a GM for you, I would immediately go sometime on defense. Cornerback, outside linebacker, inside linebacker, short safety, or the left defensive end. I do not care. Go for the biscuit. And you do. Jarquez Kowalkowski on that one. That's a pretty good pick. And I'll tell you why in a bit. If we get to Minnesota, once we get into it. Minnesota. There you are. That's a pretty good pick, because now your defensive line is going to be pretty much a challenge to be reckoned with, especially that right defensive end, and that left defensive end is going to be a bigger challenge, especially for the fact you got, like, yes, you got that older guy that can help you, but you got that younger guy who can still build to be one of the best out there. So definitely was a really smart move, and I still think Like I said, them picking a left guard, a center, and a wide receiver. I mean, that was perfect. That was something they needed. And then them going defensive now is something that they really need to now. Now, Miami, the dark horse. One of the dark horses in this draft. Oh, man, they had put a left defensive end on that one, which was kind of a shocker to me. But then that O-line was obvious. That made more sense as they focused on that offense. And they picked a running back, Ryder McNiff. That's a pretty good one. And that's a pretty good one. I'll tell you why in a bit. Once we get to them. They actually fill in that running back spot they needed. And they have a 23-year-old, so which definitely would do themselves a little bit on that offense, a little bit more better on. And plus, they still got someone young. 23 is still young. It's just he stayed until senior year, which I still think. I don't know, man. I still think them picking someone a little older was going to be it's going to be a little bit some of a challenge, but we'll see what Miami does. I like to see what they do. Next up, Buffalo. Oh man, they have been impressing me. Dark horses arise, ladies and gentlemen, and this one is one of them. If I were them, pick your left defensive tackles now. Pick them. Pick your defensive line or ends now, because go for it. And that was a perfect one too. Right defensive tackle. That's a pretty good one. They made a really good decision. They picked someone that can fill in that spot. They did a really good job. I mean, I think them doing that was a really good service for them. And if you look at that spot now you got some really good players that they can fill. So now, your next couple rounds, find some guys that you can replace. It could be a left defensive tackle backup, or you can get a left defensive end starter. That will fill in that spot, no problem. But I would mostly focus on that defensive tackle. You really want to look at like your defensive line. If you want to look at your offensive line, don't worry about your right to guard right now. Keep everything as it is right now. You're doing yourself a good favor for it. Your fullbacks, that is your biggest question mark is should you risk it to the biscuit hoping that a backup will really do you favors for? Because that's going to be the biggest challenge for you. And plus, you got Ray, who's like 34, which is incredible for an overall. 82 and he's 34, which is sometimes players develop different ways. And I think this was one of those times where you can see that example of a team that can build. So that's just my own opinion. I still think it was a really good decision. But like I said, if I were them, in your next round, go for that left defensive tackle. Just saying. Next up, New England. Okay. So, do not touch quarterback at all. You got a good starter and backup. You got a great starter and a great backup. If I were you, go for your outside linebacker, hope for a backup, get a backup or something, and or go for a fullback spot or a halfback spot for a backup or starter. That's what I would do. Because now you can get some of your offensive line going, your offense going, and you got something to go for. So, you bet the free safety too. That's a good one. I can say that one too. Free safety. If you want to pick on defense, that's what I should have said too. That's a good one as well. And especially, for the younger guys to be in there, that is a good fit. That's a pretty good fit, and that will help your defense build. So now you got some guys that can really build and you can really look upon. So we're into the final round. We're not the final round. We got a few more rounds after this. We got 3 more rounds. And if I were Las Vegas right now, go for a tight end or go for a right tackle. Now, why would I say that? Or why would I say not go for free safety? Because that free safety still looks good. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't because next year or this year, because that free safety looks like can be filled in a really good empty spot next year. If you want to go for defense, go for outside linebacker. Just saying. Anyway, let's keep going. Tight end, that's a pretty good one. Miller McCarthy on that one. 78 overall. That's a pretty good one for Las Vegas. That's a really good build. And he's younger. So definitely going to be that guy to really start off with and definitely would make a good chemistry. So looking forward to that. We'll love to see what that does for you. So next up is Metros. Ooh. Oh man, this is going to be a toughie. If I were them, if I was the GM, go for let defensive ends now. Go for it or risk it to the biscuit. There you go. Torrey Stoll. There you go. Get someone good to fill in. And I think that was a really wise move now because you got someone to fill. So you got someone to fill, you got someone to fill. That's all they can look at. And that's a pretty good one too. That's really, really good. So, and like I said, that defensive line is going to be stronger than ever once they get all good to go. So next up is the Emeralds. They have been really focusing on that D line. And if I were them, I must go that defensive line. Or you can go for that outside linebacker. That defensive tackle is a good one too. Sorry, I'm trying to find where they're at right now. I mean, that's a pretty good one. I mean, they have been all over that defense this draft, and they're looking great. I mean, they got Claiborne, they got Murden, they got Hendricks, they got Bruce. They never touch anything else. That was something they really need for this draft. They're going all for Pete Carroll strategy at this point. They're focusing on that defense today. Tennessee's up next. If I were Tennessee, and this is just me, go for that fullback. You went cornerback instead. That's an interesting one. I like to see why you did. I could see that too. You got some you want someone new to fill in that depth, and that's pretty good. I still say that's a pretty good depth. So I can see that too. Next up is Baltimore. Okay, for this one, I would not advise them to touch anything defense unless it's right defensive tackle, a linebacker, or a left defensive end. But that is just a me thing. On the offensive side, get a new running back, get a new fullback, or a new wide receiver. Kicker is actually a good one too. Enzo Navarro is actually a really good one. I still think it's a good pick. They need someone to fill in that special teams. They're 24 overall, and I think them filling that is great. I still think that's a really good fit. Next up, Chicago. Take fullback. Your big right defensive end. That was a good one too. It's a pretty good one as well. For the Blues, let's see what you got for that one. I mean, that's a pretty good depth in there. That's pretty good depth in that defensive line. I think them picking that was a great choice, I think. Even though it's in the orange, I still think that's going to fill in for that for a while. I still think. So, just me. I think that's just me. And again, that's just, I think overall it's really good. Next up, Washington. I think you go, if you would risk it to the biscuit, you pick cornerback or you pick free safety. You pick a punter instead. Okay, Chance Mullen. Which that one's kind of not surprising a little bit because I think you can find it. Milo. Oh no, okay, yeah. You're basically trying to fill in that special teams. And I think you fill in that special team was really good. So Blaine Rue. What are you gonna do? Big wide receiver, okay. I mean, that's a good thing that you did. You want to fill in that wide receiver slot. And I think that was pretty good. Picking a guy from A overall, pretty good. I still think that was a really good situation that you're in now. Because now you want to fill in that wide receiver core. Now we got 3 more teams with a 4th round, and then we take a break. Oh, that's a lot of talking. Ugh. And what we're going to do is for that 7th round, we're going to automatically sim the 6th and 7th round because they're probably not going to be my biggest concern. So, again, that's what kind of be what I'm doing. So, again, because this is going to take a little bit longer if I do 6th and 7th rounds, but we'll see what that does. I also want to, like I said, I kind of want to focus on just getting the 1st and 5th rounders and the focus on the spotlight. And then the 6th and 7th, I can really just bring up and just talk about each team's new draft picks. You know what I mean? But that's just me. Again, that's just me. Let's see. All right. Carolina's up next. Go for outside linebacker. Get back wide receiver. Green Bay. Well, if you go quarterback, that's your best opportunity. Or I would advise you pick the wide receiver core and get your younger guys. Left defensive tackle, that's a good one. And for Jacksonville, get your left defensive ends now. Yeah, if you did Louis Borrell. And that's the end of the 4th round. We got three more rounds to go. 5th, 6th, and 7th. We're almost there. Don't go anywhere, by the way. Like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and get some water real quick so that I can melt it. I'll be right back in just a minute. After this, get some milk or water after the stream. So we're gonna be going for 4 hours today, and then tonight I'll probably go play Fortnite tonight. All right, here we go. I don't know what time is it right now. Oh, like 4:30. Okay, I got some time. It's like 4:30. I got some time. All right, next round we go. Next round we go. For the Empire, I'm not going to go quick on some of these too. So, I'm going to go quick on some of these too. So, and I'll automatically go ahead and do them. So, for the Empire, I am picking a wide receiver. They do, Edward McQueen. For the Dallas, I am predicting that they're going to pick a running back. They pick a right guard. That's a good one too. Cincinnati, if I were them, running back, fullback, or actually I would mostly recommend a running back. If they want to go offense, go for a wide receiver now, please. But if you're not, go for right tackle on your defensive side. Go for your left defensive tackles, your inside linebackers, of course, or you can go for your linebacker core. And you pick a running back. Very wise move. For Atlanta. For Atlanta, you're kind of an interesting cookie right now because you have picked a wide receiver, a good backup left guard in case he gets injured. If I were you, pick a backup center. Pick a backup center, or you want to go for the money's worth, go for the inside linebacker. Just saying. Or you can go for the cornerback as well. And you go free safety. That's an interesting one. I would like to see it once we get into the final round. For this next one, go for short safety. Yes, you did. Very smart. Octavius Vincentini on that one. Liberty, I would advise you to take a linebacker, or I advise you to take a short safety. You pick an outside linebacker. That's pretty good too. For Titans, if I were you, oh, please don't do some. Please, I would advise go for a wide receiver. Got a lot older guys, so this is your opportunity to go your wide receiver core. You win running back. I mean, that was I kind of disagree with that decision because you already got enough younger guys in that team. I don't think you just wasting a pick on a running back core would not do any favors. And I mean, I can say that, but like I said, you're not doing yourself any favors with that no wide receiver, especially for an older, like for a team that's like your youngest is your 24, and he's only a third slot, and you got a starter who's 34. So I just think you getting someone new to start off with would be great, but. Next up, the Racers. Oh, boy. Oh, yeah. I would advise... to be honest, go for an inside linebacker if you want to. Right tackle's a good one, too. Take care of that blind side. Tampa Bay... Running back would be good. That tight end would be good. That left guard would help you better. Even if it's just a right tackle would build, but keep that in mind for now. I would advise to build that cornerback or wide receiver spots. A fullback would be good too. Currently, Charnosis on that one. That's a pretty good one. New Orleans. You already got a running back. Go for a fullback. Go for a fullback if you want a better rated player, or you want to go risky to the biscuit. Go for free safety or short safety. Free safety is a good one as well. That's a pretty good one, especially if you had that one player with 72 overall. For Kraken, I would say to go for a fullback, but we'll see what we got for that. A left tackle, I can see that too. You definitely want to get that O-line built good too. That I can see that immediately. The Miners, to be honest, and this is going to be a rough piece of advice, go for that inside linebacker. Free safety's not bad either. I'm not going to disagree on that one either. Focus on something on your defensive side. Your Cougars, I will say you got a lot of focus on that inside and outside linebacker, and go for your safeties as well. Wide receiver, now that one I'd like to see why you did that. Seriously. I mean, that I can see that too. I mean, that one I'm not going to disagree on. But I will also say that defense needs to be built. Like, that's like 29th on your defense overall, and that's still not enough. I mean, you definitely should be focusing on that D-line. Like that D-line or that offense, that defensive core. But you going wide receiver was probably an interesting move, but going to kind of disagree on that one. The Peaks. The Peaks. Where do I begin with you? Go for your tight ends, but that's all I can give you. Cornerback is an interesting one too. I would say that's a wise move too. The Bolts, they pick a right guard, left tackle for the Copperheads, Marnik Cardova for running back. For Bram, I will say I mean, I can see them doing that too. Liberman, a defensive end. Steele picks a right tackle. Bradbury goes for fullback. Russell for a kicker. Rico Fair for a fullback. Wallace Winder for Seattle. A wide receiver, Quinn, for the Kings. Fran Fujiya, is it Fujita? Is it Fujita? For left guard. Baker for fullback. Gartzer for cornerback. Holmes for quarterback. Wow, really? You're going... Bruh. Brother. He just... I mean, okay. I can see that too, but still. You couldn't get a new inside linebacker too, but anyway. Who am I to judge this team? Anyway. A center, that's perfect. An inside linebacker is great. And they pay an inside linebacker as well. So now we're into week number 7. We're gonna go ahead and send all these picks. So they pick a kicker. Sheriffs pick a short safety. They pick a defensive tackle. They pick the short safety. They pick the tight end. They pick the defensive end. They pick the right defensive tackle. They pick the running back. I mean, Indianapolis is already interesting already so far. I like their team. Cornerback for Tampa Bay. Left defensive tackle. Halfback for San Diego. Inside linebacker. Detroit picked Blaine Rue as a quarterback. Keith Gorman for cornerback. They picked a tight end for Voltage. Copperheads picked a defensive end. I like that decision. That was a pretty smart one. Flag for fullback for Arizona. Like that move. Kozlowski for cornerback for the Walleye. Love that decision. I like that one. Miami, a right tackle. That was a good one. I like that one. Take care of that blind side. Buffalo Steel pick defensive end. Love that. The Minutemen pick a cornerback. A lot of these teams are picking quarterbacks or defensive player. Jordan Self. Tariq Crowley. They pick Jules for free safety for Tennessee. Zach Caverly for Baltimore, which I'd like to see what that does for them. I'm curious, right? I'm just going to stop there. I mean, he's a backup. I mean, what are you going to expect on that one? We'll see what that does. If he is the starter, that's going to give me some RA, some head scratchings of why he want to do that now. But anyway, Chicago picks a quarterback. Washington picks a cornerback. Houston picks a center. And that's funny. I think I kind of did. I'll have to look back to the stream afterwards. I kind of said that you need a center. And you kind of did yourself a favor on that. That's pretty good. I will say that's a pretty good pick. That was a pretty good pick for picking your O-line like that. That was pretty good. Carolina. Pick your defense. Left guard's a good one, too. They picked the cornerback for Green Bay. A fullback for the champions. That's an interesting pick there. And then final rounds. I'm going to go ahead and go auto depth on all the teams. All right. They picked a horse for they picked a short safety. Garrett Beckley for a quarterback in the 7th round. Wow, Dallas, that's crazy that you picked something like that out of the blue. Now it makes me question your insanity already. That's wild. I mean, you picked a. I mean, I think you were in a good situation with a new QB, but now you want to do that? That's crazy. So we'll see how that does for you. You picked a defensive end. That's pretty smart. During Kenny for that one. Gregory Cowder. Dran Larson. Lucius Laxon. Adrian Leonard. Okay. Right guard. Fullback. Short safety. Cornerback. Cornerback. Center. Arizona picks a kicker now of all times. Lindell McCary, wide receiver. Caden Cawthon. Buffalo picks defensive tackle. Wilbur Fotrell for the Minutemen. Alright, left tackle. The Metros are doing impressive. I like what they're doing. Short safety for Seattle. I mean, good lordy. I mean, they have been all money today on that. I'm going to ahead and just observe all the teams. So I'm sorry if you're hearing a bunch of dings. I'd rather go auto sort at this point. Look at the picks of all things. That is wild to me. They picked 5 cornerbacks to fill that defense. What the world? I mean, I gotta give them their flowers. They did really good. I am very, very impressed. They did really themselves some really good favors. They did really, really good. I mean, I'm impressed with Jacksonville too. They did really good. I mean, they're the champions. They are really doing themselves really good favors. Picking what they're picking. And then you get that backup wide receiver to fill in. That's perfect. What I find it wild is they didn't. Seattle of all teams did not ever touch any offense in their last 7 picks. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, their whole entire draft was nothing more of, okay, we need to do the Pete Carroll treatment. Insane to me. Right guard. Left defensive end. Cornerback. They have done. They picked what in the absolute. But before we do anything, I mean, even having the Metros build their team like that, that's insane to me. They are doing themselves a lot of favors. The last ones. The Meg Moses and Mr. Irrelevant. There you go. Enjoy the draft, guys. And now I need to charge my PC after this. But that is your draft class, folks. Who was Mr. Irrelevant? I'm just curious. They picked a cornerback as Mr. Relevant. That's interesting. Funny. I'm so worried about this. But that is it. I think it goes auto, I think, you would think. Last time doing this, so we are ready to go. So I'm sorry about this, me doing all this right now. Sorry this is annoying to you guys. I'm just want to get this all sorted so the stars can play. And after this is be it. That's it for the stream. Want to make sure all of this is accurate. Do. I also want to make sure all of them are ready to go, so. All right, ready to go. Next season we go. We're ready to go for next season. So here's the schedule for this week. We got Atlanta, we got Philly, we got Buffalo and Baltimore, Chicago and Green Bay. But for this week's schedule, we're only going to pick 3 games for week 1. And if you don't know, we got the schedule official. We got, this is going to be a shocker to some, we got the New York Empire facing Detroit. We got Pittsburgh and Cleveland. And then we got Washington and Arizona to kick things off for week number 1. All the other games will get the sim. So for week number 2, we got Arizona and Los Angeles to kick off the week. We got San Diego and Buffalo, and then we got for prime time for Seattle and Chicago for week number 2 in a couple weeks. So we're only gonna do like a few games, and we're also gonna be doing like a not an overnight, but we're gonna do like a an after dark game, which is going to be the primetime game, which is Seattle and Chicago, and Washington and Arizona. So we're probably gonna do too is Chicago and Green Bay as well if I have the time. That's probably gonna be a Patreon exclusive to kick things off this season. So that's gonna be a Patreon exclusive that will go to YouTube after on Monday. And then on Monday, we're gonna have 3 extra games to kick off week 1. This is exclusive, so you guys get to know that, and then you guys get to know the sims on that for week 1. And by the way, all the Tuneful Football League games and all the college football games will come in next Monday and next Tuesday. So keep that in mind. Afterwards, we'll be live on Twitch. So it'll be kind of 2 different streams in the week. So we're going to charge this a little bit. And we're getting going. We're actually good for today. Thank you guys for coming in. And we're going to save it. And then we're going to save it. We're going to restore the roster. And that is it for today's stream on the YouTube side. Thank you guys for watching for today's YouTube stream. Thank you guys for watching. And I will talk to you all later. Thank you for coming in.